Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Player's Take, episode 338. I'm your host, Justin DeSimone, joined, as always, by my co-host, Montrell Rice. Montrell, for you on this fine Thursday. NFL kickoff.
Oh, yeah, it is NFL kickoff. I haven't even paying attention.
Yeah. I was going
I'm
to
all
ask
right,
you.
though.
I was going to ask you to record on Wednesday, but Amanda has fucking teaching tonight, so she can't watch the game with me anyways.
Okay, that makes sense.
So yeah, it is what it is. But I mean, you excited for the Lions, bro?
Not really. They got rid of their offensive coordinator, man. I don't know how I'm gonna feel about that.
And defensive, whole new staff and everything. I mean, they'll
Yeah,
still be
so
good.
I'm hoping so.
Yeah. Well, I hope they use Sam Laporta more. I need him to be good in fantasy this year. All right. Well, how's life otherwise?
I'm fine. What's this about you never seen Jaws until like last Wednesday or some shit like that? To this past week?
Friday. Amanda's on a fucking she's been sick the last couple days, so her brain isn't working so hot. She's like she sent the text, she was like, yeah, Justin saw it a few weeks ago. I was like, you mean Friday? You okay over there? So yeah, no, I never seen Jaws.
How'd you like it?
It was good, dude. It's fun. Very quotable. There's a lot of quotes. Spoilers for Jaws, but I love that the I love that the entire like back hour of the movie is just the three guys on the boat and them fucking fighting a shark on the boat. Basically, it's fucking hilarious. Actually, like when you zoom out, like it kind of rules. And the funniest part about it is like they lose, like kind of like the shark sinks the fucking boat, and like by like the skinniest of Hail Mary miracles, you know, it's fucking the chief shoots the barrel and kills him. But you know, it's fucking super funny, man.
Yeah, man. I saw that movie when I was like 8 or 9. That movie scared the shit out of me.
Yeah, that's what Amanda said too. Yeah, my parents never, I don't know. My parents never like watched movies like that with me, really, until I was older. And by that point, they only really watched like contemporary shit, like things that were coming out at the time. So we didn't, I never, dude. So I'm telling you, dude, like my movie, and I'm not a movie guy really, generally speaking. So my movie, like the things I've watched, it's kind of all over the place, but if it's older than 1995, there's an extremely good chance that I have not watched it. So,
okay.
Like I've never seen Back to the Future front to back. I've never seen Ghostbusters front to back. I've never seen Jaws until never seen Jaws until you know last week. I've never seen like The Godfather. You know, it's like I mean there's just fucking million movies I've never seen. So
I'm kind of with Peter. You know, I didn't care for The Godfather.
Okay.
It insists upon itself.
I don't want to see Ghostbusters, really. I hate that movie just because of its pop culture relevance. It's such an annoying. It's so annoying. I
think you should still see it. It's a funny movie. The original is. I think it has been blown out of proportion, but it is like the original is still a good movie in my opinion.
Yeah. Well, I need to see Back to the Future. I think that's kind of the one that I really need to like fill in. I think.
Yeah.
For sure. But I don't know. I mean, I've seen E.T. I'm trying to think of some others. I don't know. I can't even think of them. But yeah, I'd say my movie going experience started in like the late 90s probably. And all the Disney animated movies. I've seen pretty much all of those actually, but that was a specific thing. I loved Disney movies when I was a kid, so I watched them all pretty much. But yeah, outside of that, I've like the classics I've never really seen. Like I've never seen The Shining. I've never seen there's a million of them. So yeah.
Yeah. Nice. All right. Well,
I mean, it was fun to watch. Was okay. Yeah.
I was scared of The Shining. I think that's famous for the Here's Johnny line. The Shining.
Yeah.
The one that scared me the most was Damien. or The Omen. The
Okay.
Omen scared me.
I don't even know what that is.
Most. Yeah, it's another like satanic scary movie.
Gotcha.
Obviously, The Exorcist scared the living shit out of me.
Never seen it.
It actually still holds up pretty well.
Yeah.
That movie is really good. It has a lot of practical effects, but the practical effects still hold up pretty well, in my opinion. Majority of the cast died, and the crew involved with that movie died.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I do know
Yeah,
that. I actually know that
yeah.
lore about that movie. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's interesting.
but yeah, I mean, Jason doesn't really hold up, or Friday the 13th. I don't think that really holds up. I mean, it's a slasher film. All the slasher films kind of don't hold up really well, except for Nightmare on Elm Street. Yeah, Nightmare on Elm Street holds up pretty well, and Halloween holds up pretty well. I think Jason's the most goofiest out of all of them, in my opinion, or Friday the 13th. But yeah, the first Halloween holds up pretty well, and Freddy Krueger scared the living shit out of me when I was younger. I never should have watched that movie when I was like 10. I was scared to go to sleep for like 2 days.
Yeah. Well, I've been I don't know if have you ever I've been kind of on a kick with on YouTube with have you ever heard of Red Letter Media?
No, I haven't.
Okay. Well, I'm surprised because they're like a really popular movie centric YouTube channel. And they're super funny. Like they're just like they are just like regular dudes who just like critique movies, and they're so like I don't even know how to explain it. Like they're so like normal about the way they view things that it's like very relatable and hilarious. Like they're like it's just a bunch of dudes just shooting the shit and making fun of movies basically a lot of the time. But they are like serious film critics at the same time as well at times. But like they have this series called Best of the Worst that they do that they've been doing forever. And basically they watch like terrible movies and they just sit around and make fun of them. And it is one of the funniest things I've seen in a long time. Like it is the shit they are watching is so fucking hilarious. And the way they like critique it and edit their videos is like fucking perfect, man. Like I highly recommend it to anybody. But it's kind of like getting me in this movie mindset of like, man, I should watch more movies, you know?
You should. I think you should. I think you'll love movies. Especially like some of the classics and stuff like that. I don't know if you're like a real scary movie person, but like I'm not a real big scary movie person, but some of the scary movies that I did watch, like The Thing, I like the sci-fi scary movies, like The Thing, Alien.
Yeah.
Those are really good. And yeah, I don't know. I just think it's really cool with some of the stuff they did back in the day with like the technology they had and how it still holds up to this day and stuff like that. So
yeah, fair enough. All right, well, Montrell, we got a lot of video games to talk about today, so let's jump right into that. And we are starting a little late, so let's get into the show here. So, for those of you who haven't listened before, this is our weekly show where we talk about video games, video game news, and other topics pertaining to video games. We post at 6 a.m. Central Time on Fridays on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, YouTube, and your favorite podcast app of choice. And if you'd like to send us questions, you can send us an email to theplayerstake01@gmail.com, and we will answer your question on the show. All right, Montrell, let's get into what we've been playing. I'm not. I'd say you start.
We can wait for you.
Yeah, because mine's mostly Death Stranding. I finished it this week. We're gonna talk about that at the end of the show. We're gonna do a spoiler cast on that. So yeah. So Montrell, go ahead.
So yeah, I did finish Cyberpunk. I finished Dogtown, or Phantom Liberty DLC, and I finished the main story as well.
Okay. Trying to spoil a game for me in the chat.
Yeah, I did see that, and I was like, oh no. I wasn't really trying to talk about.
I just ignored. Yeah, I ignored you. Yeah,
I wasn't trying to talk about it. Should have like blurred it out or something like that. But yeah, it was a nice ride. I will say, like, I think the next Cyberpunk, I don't know if your decisions are going to matter in that next one. I don't see how they're going to pick a canon ending To be honest with you, but the way they left it, the way they did everything, almost every ending can kind of be canon, if that makes any sense. They do give you like an option to just like, I think it's really cool they give you that option to just like do certain stuff where you can just like fuck everything or whatever. And then that would be the ending of the game for you or whatever. But yeah, so the Phantom Liberty DLC, that one's really cool as well. I will say this game has like no quote unquote good endings, if that makes any sense. There is no like perfect ending, if that makes any sense. You can't do a perfect
though. I kind of like that. It's like so the decisions, the endings are based on your decisions.
Yeah, the decisions you make really do affect like what you do or whatever the case may be. So there were certain times I had to sit there and I had to think like what I really wanted to do, especially towards the main game's ending. The Phantom Liberty ending, they actually like put a timer on your decision, on some of your decisions, so you have to like kind of choose on the fly. You can't just like,
sit there and think about it for an hour.
Sit there. Yeah, you can pause the game still, but I think that takes the fun out of it or whatever. It's not meant for you to do that or whatever. So Phantom Liberty, that DLC and that storyline takes wild turns. By the end of it, you're just like, you really have to just go with not with your gut feeling, but kind of what you want to do with V and like the kind of V that you're building and stuff like that. So I don't know. It's like a really cool. The storytelling is really cool. It's a shame that the game had to go through the cycle it had to go through. To get where it is now today. I think if the game had came out like this on release, worlds different as far as like it wouldn't be a divisive game for people to play, in my opinion. And me and DJ was talking like how he said he wanted it to be first person or he needs it to be first person. I'm still on the fence about it. I would still like a third person option, at least when I'm talking to people. Because even at the end of the game, you do see your character talk now. Like it's like the story is finished. So like they zoom out and you see your character actually animated, like your created character actually animating and talking to whoever you want to talk to and everything like that. So I thought that was pretty cool towards the end of the game or whatever, to see that. And I don't know, when I saw that, I mean, maybe because I saw that at the end of the game, the 5 minutes I did see my character like actually animated and talking and stuff like that. It made me appreciate it more because I haven't seen it. Only time I can see her is like through the mirror or when I'm on a bike, when I'm driving my motorcycle. But I still would just like a third person option, or not even a third person option fully throughout the game. When I'm talking to people, I would like the camera to kind of zoom out and like, show the conversation, like how we said Deus Ex does, when Jensen's talking to people and stuff like that. So I would like that option. But besides that, I do think the game is worth it. I put 85 hours into this game. So nice. My save was 50 hours, but my PlayStation time said 85 hours.
I mean, that's about the same as I have in Death Stranding, by the way. So we're in sync.
Yeah, so I was max build by the end of the game. I was level 60, and I had almost all of my perk points as well. I didn't find all of the perk points because they're hidden perk points you can find, but I found damn near majority of them, and I was like a fucking net running god by the end of the game and shit like that. I was hacking everything with my eyes and stuff like that. It was crazy. And I was playing on very hard mode, so it was still challenging. Okay. So it was still challenging for me with very hard. So yeah.
Okay, is that the hardest difficulty?
Yeah, that's the hardest difficulty.
Okay, were you doing that just for challenge sake? Like,
I don't think there's an achievement tied to it. I just did it just for a challenge sake. Like I knew my build was gonna be crazy, so I was like, I'm gonna up my build to be suited for very hard because I played it on normal for like 5 or 10 hours, and I was like, this is too easy, and then I just upped it to very hard. And then I was like, if it's too much, then I'll lower it to hard mode or whatever.
Oh,
But yeah,
because you can
I
change it
beat
on the
it.
fly. Okay.
Yeah, you can change
Yeah.
on the fly. So 10 hours into it, I upped it to very hard.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was pretty like very hard mode. Makes you think about the moves you have to make and everything like that. Because you
Yeah.
can't just one shot a lot of people and stuff like that, even with your stealth build.
Yeah.
To win to the point where you can start one shotting people on very hard mode, but it takes a long time to get there. So I appreciated it for that
Nice.
aspect of it. But yeah,
Cool. How did it
and then the
play
next,
on PS5 Pro?
I don't have a pro. I just have a regular PS5.
Oh, you use a regular one. Okay. All right. I gotta
Yeah,
play it. I need to
it
get
still
back to
plays
this
pretty
game.
well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
it
need to
still
get
plays
back to
pretty
this
well.
fucking game. I gotta get back to this fucking game, dude. Like, cause I will say the one game I am playing is Death Stranding 2. I just jumped straight into it, and
Mhm.
I think it's the most beautiful game I've ever seen. Like straight up. I think the only game I can think of that is close to it otherwise is like Horizon Forbidden West, maybe. But
Okay.
I think this game surpasses it, dude. The character animation in Death Stranding 2 is unbelievable. Like it
Yeah, because
is
this one takes place in Mexico, right?
partially, yeah. But
Partially. Okay.
dude, like just watching the characters walk around and animate and talk to each other in cutscenes and stuff is fucking incredible. Like it is some of the I mean, it's literally the best shit I've ever seen, I think. It's fucking crazy. Like I don't know.
Now you make me want to play the game.
No, I mean, I'm gonna make you want to play the game when we talk later about Death Stranding because I'm like 5 hours into Death Stranding 2, and
Mhm.
I'm in. I'm hooked already again. Like, dude, no, it's like the game. I guess I'll just talk about it here because I'm not gonna talk about spoilers or anything, but
Yeah.
um. So yeah, the game I'm like 5 hours in, and the game has an intro area just like the first game does, but it is so much better than the first games. Like I'm already done with it. Not like everything 5-starred, but I've done all the story stuff pretty much in it, at least as far as I know so far. And it's way more open and wide, and like you don't have to like the first game like forces you through mule areas and BT areas and shit in the first zone, and it sucks. In this game you can avoid most of it for the most part.
Okay.
You also have a lot more options at your disposal. This game adds a lot of little features to everything. So all the like structures you can build and even the equipment you have works differently than it did in the first game. Like, for instance, like timefall shelters, you have the option now of leaving your backpack on a timefall shelter and not having it with you if you're gonna like go into a BT zone or something.
Oh,
Which is
okay. That's cool.
really cool because yeah, trying to fight things with your backpack on was always awkward in the first game, especially if you have a shitload of gear on you or like cargo with you. So that option is awesome because you can do that at mule camps as well, probably as well, right? You'll just like carry a couple guns and you'll have your grenade pouches and shit on
Yeah.
you. So you can go in there, be stealthy. You don't have your cargo, so you can focus on stealth, and stuff like that. So that is a really cool change with the game. There's just a lot of small things too. Like you can throw hematic grenades directly at BTs now as well, the ones that like float in the air, and it
Mhm.
will kill them. And they it doesn't aggro the ones around you either. So that's a cool change. What else is there? The stealth is a lot better. I will say I was able to take out a whole mule camp with stealth. And that never happened in the first game. It was just not possible, really. So yeah, there's some interesting stuff. There's a day night cycle now, as well in the game. So that's cool. Because that was something that was very like obvious in the first game. Was like it never was night.
Yeah.
Throughout the game. Another thing. So this game is very much much more about this is like I don't know how to explain this. The environment is much more of like a focus on like real environmental things happening. So there are new things that happen in the game. There are earthquakes that happen. And those will shake you. Like if you're walking around on unstable ground, you will potentially fall over if you have cargo. There are dust storms, and I got hit by one during one of my first orders. And dude, that shit was scary as fuck. You can't see anything. There's like lightning striking on the ground and shit near you and stuff. Like, actually, the wind affects you as well. So the direction the windstorm is blowing is harder for you to walk towards But if you walk the other way, it will make you walk faster, because you're getting the benefit of the wind behind you. Um, then there's also rivers now are interesting. They are a lot more treacherous of an obstacle than they were in the first game. They are in general wider, and they also have um the I don't know how to explain this. Like they will flood sometimes. If it's raining a lot in the area, the rivers will flood and expand, and they will get larger. Actually, like they'll get even wider, and they'll be more like rapid, like where you will get swept away more easily by them. Also, but on the reverse side of that, there's actually also times where there will be no rain, and the river will dry up. Like the river won't be there at all. So that's also happened to me as well in the short 5 hours I've been playing the game. So there's a lot of new stuff in the game, and I think I'm really excited because as fun as Death Stranding is, and it's a great game, and I recommend everybody plays it. I think they really took this. It seems like they took this sequel and they just really ratcheted it up and really did all sorts of like really granular things that add up to like an
Sounds like they
awesome
took a
game to
lot of
play.
criticism.
Yeah, potentially. Yeah. Well, because I can understand Death Stranding 1, I think if you play it all the way through the way I did and try to get the platinum and like full complete everything, it feels very samey after a while. Because there's not a lot of dynamism to the game. Like it's very static, unfortunately, in a lot of ways. Things don't change on the map unless you get a void out or something, which that is a cool feature that's in the game. But it's like the mules don't ever move, they don't change location, the BT zones are always in the same place. It's like there's not a lot of like I said, dynamism to the game. So the second game seems like it's much more ever changing in that regard. Things are kind of a little more fluid in that regard. So that's really cool as well. So there's just a lot of little things. I got my first vehicle as well, which is a trike, but it is not a motorcycle. In this game, you're sitting in it. More like laying in it, actually, I should say, which is really interesting as well. So yeah, there's just a lot of cool stuff. Oh, actually, Sam's stats, he has stats actually in this game as well that level up. You know how in the first game when you would get like 10 ranks of one of the cargo statistics, you'd get like a statistical upgrade of some sort.
Yeah.
They decoupled that from that system, and then they upgrade on their own now based on you using like doing things that increase the stat. So
Okay.
like if you hold your breath in a BT zone, your ability to hold your breath will get better. If you carry a lot of heavy cargo, your ability to carry heavy cargo will get better the more you do that. Stuff like that. So they kind of decoupled those systems, which is kind of cool. Actually, I like that a little bit more. They do level pretty rapidly at first, so you're not stuck in like the shitty mode or shitty early game mode for too long. But I will say, not having the fucking floating carrier and all the vehicles and the zip lines and shit, God, it sucks to go back to that, bro. Like you're just walking on foot everywhere. But yeah, I think I'm rapidly approaching the point where that goes away. So yeah, I think they definitely took the feedback on the beginning of the game. They're speeding it up a bit. So and the story already is very compelling. So I'd say from that front, this is a lot better than the first game as well in that regard. So yeah. But okay. So that's it. That's it for me. What I'm playing. Go ahead, Montrell. If you talk about Lost Soul aside.
Yeah. So I'm like 4 or 5 hours into it right now. Um, it has some jank to it, but it's an action game. And I like it. A lot of people were tearing this game up online.
Yeah.
I like it. I'm not gonna go into a tirade, but I don't play action games for the story. Like I just don't, right? I think people got really spoiled by Nier Automata. That is like an anomaly within the action game genre that has an actual good story tied to like actual good gameplay and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Devil May Cry doesn't have the most compelling story, and I'm tired of people acting like it does. It doesn't. All right.
Yeah.
Bayonetta doesn't have the most compelling story. All these other action games don't have the most compelling story.
Wait, did you say Nier Automata?
No, I said Nier Automata does. Is the
only.
Oh,
okay. I'm sorry.
No.
Oh, so we're about to fight, bro. We're about to fight.
So let me. Maybe I rephrase that. I was saying that.
No. My bad. Sorry, I was reading the text. So I wasn't paying attention. That's my bad.
So Nier Automata is the only game that I think spoiled a lot of people as far as like a compelling story and an action game or whatever, because Ninja Gaiden doesn't have this compelling story. Neo doesn't have a compelling story. Like all these other action games don't really have compelling stories like that. Right. It's all about the action or whatever. And Lost Souls aside, honestly, is not that different. It tries to be. It's. I can tell it's going to be an actual like adventure game as well, because there's actually quite a bit of platforming in the game, which I like. To kind of break up the monotony between fighting characters or fighting enemies and stuff like that. I think the boss fights so far are really good. I think a lot of the stuff is actually fair. The boss fights are fun, fast, flashy, and actually pretty fair when I'm fighting them. A couple of them I had to fight like maybe 4 times to beat them, but like I didn't really care because I was just like, oh, that was my fault. I didn't dodge it this time, or whatever the case may be. It's not like a Souls game or a Souls-like game or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the English voice acting is not that good. I really don't fucking care. I'm not playing in Chinese or Japanese. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm just not that person. I don't fucking care. So, like,
I get you.
If you want to, like, I heard the Chinese voice acting is way better and the Japanese voice acting is way better as well. Play that to your heart's content. I'm playing in English. I don't give a fuck. I mean, the story is there. It's not like a bad story, but it's not like the most compelling story ever as well. So I mean, yeah, it's a decent game. You can tell it definitely has inspirations from like Final Fantasy and I particularly Final Fantasy 16. It reminds me so much of Final Fantasy 16. Honestly, it's kind of crazy actually, because this game started development before Final Fantasy 16, way before Final Fantasy 16. But yeah, I think the game's decent. It's like a so far it's like a decent 7. And that's another thing I wanted to say. Like, we need more 7 out of 10 games, and them not being like, I don't need every game to be Death Stranding or Cyberpunk. I need my 7 out of 10s, even my 6 out of 10s. I like those type of games, like, whatever the case may be. So I don't know. I just feel like a lot of people have like these high expectations for games. First of all, I stopped tracking this game like maybe 2 years after it was announced, which was like in 2014 or some shit like that. I didn't fucking care. I was like, whatever, it's probably never coming out. But it did come out. So shouts out to the developer and to PlayStation for helping them out. And I think this game's pretty good for a single developer who had help along the way. But yeah, next game I'm playing is Shinobi. This game is a side-scrolling Metroidvania with like the combo system of like Devil May Cry and like Ninja Gaiden. It's really fucking cool. The art style is really cool. These are the same people who made Streets of Rage 4. And you can tell. Yeah, I love I think their name's Lizard Cube, I believe. I think it's Lizard Cube. Let me see. I love their games, and I am so glad like fucking Sega is just putting them to work, man. The way they turn 2D games into like something more modern, but like also something more nostalgic as well is just great. The level design is fucking cool. The bosses are fucking fun to fight. The stories pretty okay. It's a Shinobi story. But what's surprising is actually the English voice acting is really fucking good, actually. So yeah, I do recommend this. I even recommend you play it. I think you'll probably like it. I know you're not a big Metroidvania fan, but I think you'll actually like this game as well.
Certain ones, it's got to be the right one.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll look at it.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's a pretty decent game. But that's pretty much all I've been playing this week.
Okay. Shinobi Art of Vengeance, is that what it's called?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, so this came out earlier this year. Okay.
No. This came out like 2 days ago, 2 or 3 days ago.
Wait, really?
Came out on the 26th. Yeah.
Oh, I'm stupid.
The demo came out like a couple
You're
months
right.
ago.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I was looking at Sega's website. It was like a blog post, I think, announcing the game.
Yeah.
Never mind. Okay. Yeah, it came out on the 29th of August. So
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, dude, Ninja Gaiden Ragebound came out a
I
month
heard that's
earlier
pretty
too.
good too. It's just not
It
my style of the
looks,
side scrolling,
it
but it
looks
looks
really
really
good.
cool though.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
looks
I
really
think I'm
good.
gonna buy it just because and play it
Yeah.
after I
Well,
play
I mean, there
Shinobi.
hasn't been a side-scrolling Ninja Gaiden since, dude, like I think like the 80s or close to it. So it's fucking insane actually to think about. So
Yeah,
cool.
the last side scrolling ninja game I played was Strider Hairu's game.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um and that was like in 2015. It was a 3D side. It was a 2.5D side scrolling game. It was
Okay.
okay. It was a Metroidvania. I didn't like it too much, but it was okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, there's one I was thinking of called Shadow Complex, but it's not a ninja game. Never mind. Okay, cool. All right, well let's move into the news then. We got a few big stories to talk about this week. First one, Hermen Hulst did an interview with the Financial Times, and he was asked a bunch of questions, but there was a lot of talk about Concord and the live service initiative and what Sony's kind of doing going forward. So, um, they were talking to him and they asked him about Concord and kind of what they're doing to make sure that kind of thing doesn't happen in the future. And this is what Holst said. So, quote, I don't want teams to always play it safe, but I would like for us, when we fail, to fail early and cheaply. We have since put in place much more rigorous and more frequent testing in very many different ways. The advantage of every failure is that people now understand how necessary that oversight is. And then later on, they asked him about the number of live service games that Jim Ryan had promised, the 12, back in 2022, that would be coming out by the end of this year. And he said, quote, the number of live service releases is not so important. What is important to me is having a diverse set of player experiences and a set of communities. So I mean, that's that's most of what came out of this. The kind of the most important things. But Montreal, how does this strike you? Because I mean, Hermen, if you remember the reporting back when Concord came out last year, Hermen was the guy who like championed this game, right? And obviously he probably was a big reason why Sony backed it so heavily back in the day. But is it weird to you that they are he's talking about, um putting more frequent testing processes in place for these games? Like, shouldn't that have already been there? Am I crazy? I don't know. Is this just showing how out of their depth they were with this live service initiative?
I think he's being very disingenuous.
Yeah.
In my opinion, because wasn't this his whole idea anyway? Like Concord, wasn't this his baby?
Well, he was he
doing?
was a big champion of it. Yeah, like behind the
Yeah,
scenes.
it's a very, in my opinion, it's a very CEO thing to do. What he
Yeah.
just said, like he didn't really take responsibility for it.
Yeah.
Even though he was like the champion behind it, and he's like, "Oh, we need to do more testing and stuff like that." I don't know. It's very underhanded to say. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. I don't know what you say about it, but I don't like the way he said it.
No, I
In my
agree.
opinion.
I think it's odd. I think this whole thing is weird with Hermen, because I mean he got demoted technically, right? After that happened, but I mean it just feels, the fact that they're talking about a more rigorous testing process for these games or whatever in 2025 is like, I mean, you weren't testing your games to this degree before. I don't really understand. Like, are you just lucking into success? Like, you would think at this level of budget that we're talking about with these games that, I mean, everybody should be so plugged in on this shit. Like I would think the executives just like are fucking up these teams' assholes. Like I don't know. It's like, I just find the quote really weird, and it makes you wonder like how little don't even know what the word is, accountability there is in PlayStation, in PlayStation's ecosystem, or maybe that there was, maybe Hiroki Totoki is more, trying to put more of that in place now, and it's just taking time, right? It just makes you wonder though. Like I don't really know how appropriate Hermen is for the position he's in. I just, whenever he talks, I don't like what he says, for a similar reason to what you said. I can't put my finger on it exactly, but it's just, there's something about the way he talks about things that I just do not like. I do not appreciate. Which is weird because this is a guy that comes from Gorilla, dude. Like, he's got bona fides in the industry. It's not like he's just some fucking suit,
Yeah, I mean, and that's what's so like that's the double-edged sword of it, right? Because he comes from the halls of development and everything of that
Mhm.
nature. But he clearly showed a bias. When you become a leader or a CEO or something like that, you have to learn how to put certain biases aside.
Yeah.
That's it is what it is, right? I mean, you're a manager and everything like that. I mean, I'm pretty sure you know that. Like, you have to put certain things aside to lead your team. And for him to have the company invest so much money into this project and then it failed right off launch. I think it wasn't even 30 days. Was this game
It was 2 weeks, dude. It was less than 2 weeks. It's insane.
Yeah, so $400 million. I believe that's how much the game cost to make. I believe.
Oh, it was even more, dude. I think it, like, that was just the development cost of the game over 8 years. That does not include the purchase price of the studio that Sony put into it, and marketing that they did. Like, yeah, it's rough. It's rough, dude.
So yeah, over $500 million into this game, and it fails in 2 weeks. And I don't know. In my opinion, if I was Satoki, I would just he would not be anywhere allowed in the board meetings, like, at all. Like,
yeah,
I know that would be like a bad look for Sony, but like, I need for other people to learn their lesson. Like, this was really bad. We lost $500 million in 2 weeks. Like, that's crazy. The only reason like we didn't really get shitted on was because, and I'm just speaking like if I was like the president, the only reason we didn't get shitted on is because we're in the lead as far as like Xbox and maybe Nintendo or whatever. We don't have really any competition right now. But just imagine Xbox was like on their P's and Q's or whatever. Like, this would have killed us. Like, investors would have fucking like bolted or whatever the case may be. So, I don't know, man. Like, I don't think he learned his lesson. Like, I think that's what this statement proves to me. It really wasn't my fault. It was the team fault. It was my fault because I didn't test the game better. Like, that's what he's saying. But he's pretty much putting the onus on the development team that made the game, if that makes any sense, instead of like his leadership championing this game. And I don't really like that.
Yeah.
Now,
also
what do
talking
you
out
say?
of his ass here too.
Yeah, but like, what do you say? I that's the problem. I don't know. What would you say?
Well,
I mean, the proper thing for me to say, honestly, would be like, maybe I need to step down into a lesser position until I earn my spot back into this position, or whatever the case may be. I don't fucking know, bro. Like, I
don't know. I mean, maybe this is an example of the media like keeping him honest, because I mean, we're a year out and people are still asking him about this shit. So clearly this shit has stuck with him to some degree. But I kind of feel like Sony as a whole has kind of, I don't know, dodged this one for whatever reason. Like, I don't feel like people are like holding on to this the way, like, if Xbox had a game like this, like, they would never live it down. I feel like no one would ever shut the fuck up about it, and like, they'd be like, oh, what a fucking failure, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, I feel like they dodged the scrutiny a little bit with Concord. Like, it kind of came and went, and I don't feel like there's been a lasting impact to that, from a perception standpoint with Sony. Because I mean, dude, like, we're looking at like Marathon, right? Marathon doesn't look good, like, I think that game is in trouble in some ways. And then you have, frankly, we have this later in the show, but I'm just going to bring it forward. Is Fair Games, just lost their creative director now too after Jade Raymond left a few months ago. And I'm at this point. I mean, what are the odds of this game coming out? Like 50%, maybe. It's like it feels like it's potentially more likely that it gets canceled than that it comes out at this point. With all these departures and stuff, and we're not hearing good things about the game. People that have played it, there are rumors that it's not very good anyways. So it's like this whole thing with Sony is continuing to not go well. And I don't know, like it feels like they need to reset with the live service stuff. Like I don't think, like, they need to kind of take a step back and really reevaluate. And maybe that's what they're doing. That's what he's talking about here. But I don't think it's going to save you, like, would that have really saved Concord? I mean, this dude, like, this is the part I don't understand is, like, who's involved in this testing? Because if it's Hermen, if Hermen's the guy that's going to be the gatekeeper, he was the gatekeeper for Concord, and he fucking convinced Sony to buy the goddamn studio a year before the game came out and fucking floundered. So it's like, what? You really trust this dude's judgment with anything? Like, I wouldn't. I'm with you, man. If I was Hiroki Totoki, I would be putting Hermen as far away from decision making as I possibly could. Like,
yeah,
like isolate him from, and you're right. It would look bad, but it's like you almost want him to leave of his own volition, because it's like, I don't know. Like, you just can't have a person with this poor of judgment in the position he's in, frankly. But
yeah, and that's pretty much wrong. I'm not doubting his skills as a developer or even as a leader, or maybe I am doubting as a leader.
Yeah,
he made a really, really bad decision because he put this team, like, he really championed this team and put it on his back, and like, this was my baby and everything like that. And I don't know, it just felt like you didn't. For you to champion the game, you didn't really like look over the game, and you didn't see the trends coming and everything like that. 8 years for this game, a live service game, and you don't have like a single player or a co-op component to it, or whatever the case may be. It just makes no sense to me.
Well, and of course it was. And to come in 7 years in and buy the studio, that's the part that I don't understand. Like, I can understand if you back this game and you put a little money into it if you're Sony, but to like come in and buy the studio and make it a first party game, that's the part that's like really embarrassing for Sony, Yeah. I don't know how that one got past the goalie. And to be clear, I don't think we're just talking about Concord here, right? Like, all these live service games that got canceled as well. I mean, you can probably put a lot of that on Hermen's doorstep, like, I'm sure Jim Ryan had a part to play in that as well, and maybe Hermen was just following orders, to some degree. But any good leader, is going to challenge the people above them if they think something's a bad idea. So clearly Hermen didn't think it was a bad enough idea to do that, with all these games that went into development, using studios like Naughty Dog, Insomniac, fucking Santa Monica, Blue Point, making a fucking live service game. Like, what are we doing, bro? So it's just all around. I think it's not great. And I don't know. I need to feel, I don't feel a lot of confidence in PlayStation at the moment. I really don't. The last few years have done a lot of damage to their image with me personally, but yeah. All right. Montrell, anything else you want to say about that?
No, I just, like you said, I just really hope. I see a downfall from Sony coming in a minute. So yeah.
Well, yeah. Actually, I forgot to put this in the rundown, but this is actually a big story. Another leak came for PS6, and we'll just continue into this because I am similarly dubious of this. These new leaks is that there's going to be supposedly, and this is from the same channel that did the original leak from Moore's Law is Dead, that there's going to be a PlayStation 6 S, so a Slim. There's going to be a PS6 handheld, and then there's going to be a PS6, I don't know, Prime, whatever you want to call it, the main console that's going to launch. And the Slim is going to be stronger, like better than a PS5 Pro supposedly in some ways. It's going to have more RAM. I think they're going up to like 32 or 36 gigs of RAM or something like that for all the models, which is huge. That's a huge increase because PS5 only has 16 gigs of RAM available to it. So, that's a big increase. But the main takeaway I took from these leaks is that the S though is going to be similar to like the Xbox Series S, in that it's going to be a lower priced entry point that will kind of be a way to get more people into the console ecosystem. But I don't know how you feel about this. We know how the Xbox Series S went, and it's kind of been a disaster for Microsoft with the Xbox. Maybe PlayStation can run this better and it can work better for them, but I don't really know why they're going down this path, seeing what happened with Xbox with this. Maybe they're going to take a different approach to some degree and not require everything beyond the S the way Xbox did. That would be maybe a good approach here, but then you would have issues of games not being compatible with it, which I don't really see Sony going down that path either. So I was kind of in on the handhelds, and reading more about that as well. The handhelds is going to be kind of a PS5 in handheld form. It's not going to have PS6 quality graphics necessarily, which I was much more into that idea. So that these leaks have kind of pulled me back on this whole thing, this whole approach we're getting with the next generation here. If this is true, these things, they're going for a lower power point, but even pricing wise, because we talked about pricing a few weeks ago, similarly from Moore's Law is Dead, he was speculating that the console might be 500, but this latest leak is putting it more in the 7 to 800 range potentially for the console, if Sony wants to maximize profit. So, I don't know if that's the case. This next generation may be a lot less appealing if there's not a huge power jump coming. But I don't know, Montrell. What do you think of all this?
I don't know. I don't even think we need a PS6 right now. Like, and this is next year?
No, 2 years, potentially 2027. So 2 years from now.
I don't know. I think we should let this generation cook a little bit longer than what it's been cooking. I know it's been like 5 years, but we barely just got rid of like the last console generation. You know what I'm saying?
Still really haven't. There's still games coming on PS4.
Yeah,
it's just not the big boys.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think we should give it. I think they should let it cook a little bit longer. I understand from like a profit standpoint, they probably got to do something, but
yeah.
And I'm not a fan of the whole. I mean, I guess because like maybe you're looking at the economy and stuff like that, and you're predicting how the economy is going to be out. Maybe you can say like, all right, we need like options for people for like lower end options, but it's just not a good look because of what Xbox tried to do. They forced developers to make, like, lower end versions. And I get it. Like they're trying to say like, well, it's like a lower specs PC, like, how PC have like specs where they can, where games can like have a slider or whatever, but
sliders, right?
It wasn't really that for Xbox and Xbox Series S. If
console
that makes
games
sense.
Or console developers have just never done that really.
Yeah.
And I don't think it worked well. Like Baldur's Gate 3 famously is the game that like really broke that with Xbox. Like they had to make an exception for that game to get it on Xbox. Because it just could not run on the S, if you remember.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like Sony's going to end up running into similar problems, but maybe their idea is the cross-gen was so long this generation that it will be the same way next generation. And if that's the case, then introducing an S console will just be kind of a middle ground between PS5 and PS6, and developers can kind of have 3 different versions of the game, that run on those 3 spec levels, I guess, maybe. is maybe that's their thought process. I don't know, you know. Um, yeah,
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's a bad move. I do think we need more handhelds in the market, so I do like that. But I don't think we need two different consoles
yeah,
at all. I think I actually am okay with like the mid upgrade. You know, 2 or 3 years into the console generation, I think that's okay for
yeah,
people who want that extra power, and then for people who just want to keep the regular stuff, they can. So I don't
yeah.
know. That's my take on it though.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. For sure. The only other thing is the PS6 handheld is actually going to be able to is actually going to be dockable potentially as well. So I don't know why. Like it feels confusing. Like it feels like they're going to muddy the waters too much. Like you're going to have
Yeah,
three different things that you can buy and play on your TV. You know?
yeah. I don't think we need all that technology. I don't know. That's just me though. I personally don't think we need all that technology.
Yeah.
I would like it. I would probably me myself the way I play games now. I would probably because I'm planning on get the Xbox the Rogue Ally because I really want like a console in my hand, and the
Mm,
Switch is not
yep.
what I want it to be right now.
Yeah.
And I don't really want the Steam Deck. I don't know. I just want uh like my Xbox library or my PlayStation library in my hand or whatever the case may be, and
Yeah.
I might just do that. I might just get it for that. I mean, and then maybe 2 years or 2 or 3 years, then get an actual PS6 if that makes any sense. Because there's so many games that I still haven't played on the PS5. I know I'm not going to be. I know I'm not going to be there in 2027. You see what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I would
Yeah.
probably just wait it out and then just be behind the curve on that if that makes any sense.
Yeah. Yep, we'll see. I mean, these are still just rumors, obviously. So, I mean, this stuff can change and probably will change. Like we said, the last leak we talked about was very different from this one. So, these things are rapidly changing. So, we'll kind of see what the end result is. All right, moving on to our next story. Perfect Dark. This was the game that was canceled by Microsoft earlier this year. But Jason Schreier came out with a report on Bloomberg this week detailing that apparently this game was, after Microsoft canceled it, they were attempting to find another publisher for it, and Take-Two was in talks with the initiative and Crystal Dynamics to continue the development of this game, but um, the talks fell through. Take-Two, backed out, didn't end up funding the game, so the game is officially dead now. But that is what resulted in the layoffs at Crystal Dynamics last week. So they, yeah. So actually, we didn't talk about that last week because it happened after the show. But Crystal Dynamics had some layoffs as well as part of this, and Perfect Dark is officially dead. So yeah, I mean, watch out. This is unfortunate because it sounds like this game was almost saved. Like we almost had it. We could have almost had it again, but you know, not to be.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I look at the vertical slice of this game that they show at the trailer,
Yeah.
and I don't know. It looks like a spiritual successor to like Deus Ex or something like that.
No, I
Yeah.
look. You're you're not gonna find anybody more upset that this game didn't come out than me. Okay, like I was very excited by that gameplay showcase that we got last year, and to think that we a year ago we finally saw this game for real, and it looks fucking awesome, bro. Um, Microsoft sucks. There's no I was defending them last segment here, but this one, no, fuck them, bro. No, it's bullshit.
So
You
everybody
canceled
saw
this
this
game. You
gameplay.
canceled this one.
That's what I'm saying. Everybody saw this gameplay. Was like, you know what? I'm not going to fund it. Like,
Yeah.
what?
No, the
Like,
game must have been in really bad shape or something.
it
I
had
don't
to be,
know though.
man.
It couldn't have been though. If Take-Two's coming in and is like, "Hey, we're gonna fix it," it's like it must not have been in that horrible of a shape, right? Otherwise, I don't know. It's just because like Jason reported that the Take-Two fell out of the talks because there was dispute about who was going to own the IP going forward. I think they wanted long-term ownership of the IP or something like that. And Microsoft probably wasn't amenable to that or whatever. So
I mean, but they're not doing anything with it.
Right, exactly. Exactly.
Like you had this IP for like literally like 20 years. You did nothing with it.
Yeah, bro.
Like all the Perfect Dark games that came out after the N64 game, I'm sorry, y'all, was trash. I didn't like them. You can say like, oh, actually, Montrell was actually a good game. No, it wasn't. We all know it wasn't. Like, I don't know, man. Like, I guess this is just a case of Microsoft being greedy. Like,
just let it go. Let it go.
Yeah,
Rare's not doing it. Like, Rare's not doing anything with it, so let it go. Okay, like, why do you have an attachment to this? I mean, clearly it didn't work. Whatever you were trying to do, let Take-Two take it and do something with it. I would have trusted Take-Two with this so much more than Microsoft. Like, I don't know. Like, it's
was Crystal Dynamics still going to develop it if Take-Two had it?
Yes, I think that was part of the deal. Is they were going to remain. They were going to remain on it. So,
yeah, I don't know, man.
Yeah, it's frustrating.
This stupid. Dude. This is a really bad story. This was really fucked me up, dude.
No, I know, because
I was so looking forward to this game, dude. I was so looking forward to this game.
But I accepted it, right? When it was canceled, I was just like, it is what it is.
Yeah, I did too. I accepted it. I didn't even know they were even talking for this.
About it. I'm way more angry now that we know this is true. like we had another shot and it fucking fell apart. Like, what are we doing? Like, come on, man. I don't know, bro. I'm so fucking annoyed. Video games are so depressing. Like, I can't get a Deus Ex game to save my fucking life. I don't even know what Eidos Montreal is fucking working on anymore. It's like that team is just in fucking purgatory. It just sucks balls. Like, it's not, I don't know. It's not fun being a fan of this genre right now. What are they working on? What is Eidos Montreal working on right now?
I mean, dude, like, they just don't know. Like, the only thing they have is Halo and Gears of War. Like, I mean, and other IPs, but like, they just don't know what to do with their IPs. They had Hi-Fi Rush and then canceled that entire studio.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, man. Like,
supposedly they're helping work on Fable.
Oh my god! Okay, that game's never coming. That's the next game's gonna get canceled. I wouldn't be
man.
I wouldn't be surprised if that shit gets canceled like in 2 months.
What is Embracer doing, bro? Dude, you remember? Oh my god! You remember when Square sold them Eidos Montreal and Crystal Dynamics, and we were dubious of it at the time, right? I think everybody was. And here we are. Like, there's support studios for Microsoft games that are getting canceled. What are we doing? Crystal Dynamics is a good studio. Eidos Montreal is a good studio. Why are we wasting this talent like this? Embracer, what are we doing? Dude, Guardians of the Galaxy is the last game they released, and it fucking ruled. That game was fucking awesome, okay? Like,
you know what? I blame the players for that because we did not give it a chance. I totally blame us.
People didn't buy it. No, you're right.
Yeah,
people didn't buy it. I
totally blame us for that. And I have that game in my library, and that's the next game I'm actually going to play. But
dude, it's so good. It's so good.
And I don't know, man. Like, I saw this game, I was like, oh my god, this is exactly like this is the kind of first person shooter I'm looking for. Like, we need more narrative, like Cyberpunk. Like, we need more narrative, fucking focused, really good first person shooters that, like, do really cool things with the gunplay and stuff like that. Like, I like the Wolfensteins and I like the Doom and everything like that. But like this Perfect Dark, fucking Deus Ex and like in Cyberpunk, those are the first person shooters I like to play. And yeah, man, like, I don't understand why I don't understand how they can look at this game and be like, nope, we're not doing it. Like, I just I don't understand. Like, it just really makes no sense to me. In the hype for the game, like people are like, "Oh my god, Xbox is cooking with this one," and Xbox like, you know what? I'm just gonna cancel it. Like we don't have any faith in it at all. I don't know, man.
No, dude, I'm looking at a story from 2023, February 2023. Okay, so this is like 2.5 years ago. This is from Video Games Chronicle. Crystal Dynamics and Eidos Montreal are expected to release 5 AAA games by March 2028, and those games were a Deus Ex game from Eidos Montreal that was early in development that we know now is already canceled. This Perfect Dark game from Crystal Dynamics canceled. Tomb Raider game supposedly maybe still in development. Okay, we got that one. And then Eidos was also working on, what was the other one? Tomb Raider. Come on, Deus Ex. There was another one in here from them. That's all. It was another game that's also canceled, though. Something else that they're working on that's also canceled. And then maybe Fable was the last one that they were talking about there, if they're working on Fable potentially. So yeah, it's not a good time to be a Eidos Montreal fan or Crystal Dynamics fan. It's bad. Embracer was the worst place they could have ended up. Yeah, it is so Fable, let's see. Crystal Dynamics, they're not working on Thief, that was just acquired. Something in Legacy of Kain maybe, but that seems like just speculation. So yeah, maybe we don't know what the 5th game was, but I mean, this blows, man. It sucks. Get these studios out of purgatory. Sell them to Sony, please, for the love of God, and the IPs to Sony. Like, I don't know. They don't need Tomb Raider. Frankly, actually, like, Sony doesn't need Tomb Raider, but Deus Ex, I'd love for Sony to get Deus Ex and make it a prestige franchise for them, because it would be awesome. Deus Ex is fucking great, and I think it would be a great franchise for Sony to own, but it's never gonna happen, bro. I'm just they're gonna get closed. I feel like these studios are gonna get closed. It's kind of what I think is gonna happen. So I hope not, but it's just frustrating, man. You know, but it is what it is. Perfect Dark almost came back from the dead, but is still dead. So, all right, let's move on to another company that's fucking annoying us right now. As much as Capcom is making good decisions in most ways, Monster Hunter Wilds is not one of those areas. Their president, Haruhiro Sugimoto, said in an interview with Nikkei Gaming that the high price of the PlayStation 5 is a reason for the low sales of Monster Hunter Wilds. And I'll read a quote from him that was translated. Quote, the console costs about $538 when you factor in, and he was talking about Japanese cost when he was talking about this. When you factor in cost of the software and monthly subscriptions, it comes to about $672 at the time of purchase. This is not an amount that can be easily reached, especially for younger generations. The situation is not limited to Japan, but is similar overseas as well. Montrell, he's coping, right? Majorly coping.
Dude, when I saw this article, I wanted to scream at work. I'm like, you cannot be serious, dude. Like, you can't make this shit up, dude.
Yeah, right.
I mean, we called it. Did we like we? I know DJ like shits on this for like other games, but we know Monster Hunter, and we know what Monster Hunter should play like, and we called this when we were playing it. Like, I don't know about this, man. This is a little bit too easy for us. Yeah. And I'm like, maybe we're just vets, like because we're the. No, like everyone else agrees with this. That's why the game's not selling. Because like the initial 10 million people bought it, and we're just like, nah, just wait for the G rank, bro. I'm pretty sure everyone told their friends to just wait for the G rank. Don't even buy it right now. It's not good.
Yeah.
And you, like you said in the text message, there are 80 million PS5s out in the wild right now.
I
Are you
know the
fucking
idea that
kidding
you're
me?
blaming this 5 years into this generation is fucking insane. I mean, to be fair to him, the price of the console did just go up, but that happened like
That
weeks
happened.
ago. Weeks ago, this game came out in February, so maybe we won't be fair to him. Okay, like it's
No,
fucking ridiculous.
that's
I
why I
don't
was
know.
so upset. I'm like, dude, no, he's not using this price hike that came out like literally 2 or
There's
3
80
weeks
million
ago.
consoles. I don't even care if there is a price hike. There's plenty of people to play this fucking game on PlayStation 5. You know, it's like it is so ridiculous
on
how
PC.
much. No, and it's on Xbox too, isn't it? Like, what the fuck are they talking about? Like, dude, the idea he does not want to admit that this game has actual problems. Like, they do not want to admit that Monster Hunter isn't the perfect little gemstone that everybody wants, you know? It's unbelievable.
2010.
Like,
I'm still
meanwhile,
in
there's
2010
Steam.
Capcom.
Dude, seriously, there's Steam reviews at this point. Let's go look where they're at. Because
let's look.
It's bad. It's still bad. It's been bad for months, but you know, we're gonna go take a look here. Their overall is 67% mixed. Their recent, so this is the last 30 days, and this has been going on for 3, 4, 5 months now. 30% positive of 5,000 reviews is, I mean, what are we doing? Why are we pretending? Why is he pretending that they don't have problems? Like, he's not even directly talking to investors. Okay, I get it. You're talking publicly. You don't want to make it sound like the game's fucking flatlining, right? But there are ways to tell the truth where you don't make your investors run for the hills. You know, it's like, I don't understand. Like, Capcom has not publicly acknowledged the PC performance problems. I don't understand. It is fucking crazy. Like, I don't know. I mean, they're putting their head in the sand, bro. I mean, and people, dude, to be fair to gamers, right? We were just criticizing them for not supporting Guardians of the Galaxy. To be fair to gamers here, they are speaking with their wallets with this game.
Yeah,
like,
that's true.
In a way I feel like I've never seen before, you know? Like, because dude, this game came out, sold 10 million in like, you know, a few weeks, right? And is completely cratered since. Like, it's like 500,000 or less since launch that have sold. Like, that is insane for a game with that sales trajectory, you know? So people aren't buying the game, you know? And I think they're waiting for G rank. I think that's what they're waiting for, you know, as we've said before.
Well, they're waiting for G rank. They're waiting for harder monsters. They're waiting for, I mean, the game, dude. Yeah, I think it's almost okay. I'm sorry. The way Rise just got away with it is crazy to me. But this game, almost got away with it as well.
Yeah.
Like, why was layered weapons not available on launch? Why was, you know, I mean, they gutted certain weapons and everything like that. Like, I mean, the hammer was just fucking piss poor at that point. The end game, you fought literally 2 animals or monsters at the end of the game, which was the Gora Magala and fucking Aardvark, whatever the fuck that thing's name was. I forgot.
Aardvark.
Yeah.
Arkveld.
Stupid fucking monster. I hate that goddamn monster anyway.
I know, and the fucking chains, like it's caged, it's imprisoned. What was that stupid idiot's name from the storyline? I don't
fuck. I don't know his goddamn name.
I don't fucking know. I fucking hate him.
Like Kiki or something like that. I don't.
No, it was something with an N. I don't want to say like Nahu or some shit. I don't remember.
Nada. That's what it was.
Nada.
Yeah.
Fuck that little fucker, man. You know, the monster's so tortured. Oh, I want to save it. Fucking
why he's eating other monsters in the same process?
Yeah, this thing literally killed his parents, and he's like, "Oh my god, I see its pain."
Yeah, Arkveld and Gor Magala. I mean, those are the only 2 monsters we were fighting. And then they
no
just
Elder
added,
Dragons.
Yeah, no elder dragons. They're really on this. What are they called? Apex monsters in this game?
No, arch tempered and arch
Are-
tempered.
Well, like the you remember like the right now is like you remember it was like the apex predator of the land or whatever. That's what
Yeah, no,
they're
it's
like.
it was tempered. They're just doing the tempered thing again.
Okay, so like yeah, I mean I don't know. And then we got Mitsusune and
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I kind of wish honestly don't drop monsters one by one. Drop them in a pack, like 4 monsters in a pack. Don't
Yeah.
do Laggy, whatever the fuck it's called. I'm gonna call it Laggy. Don't drop Laggy, Mitsusune, and then a week later, oh, we're dropping like another monster. Like drop them all in the pack.
And making a monster arch tempered is not content. Okay, like that is a lesson they need to learn because I don't making a monster like statistically harder is not a content drop for a video game. I'm sorry, for like a live service game, that is not interesting content. Like no other game that I've ever played tries to do that shit, like pull that shit. So
the other thing is why are there not arch tempered every monster?
That's what I'm saying. That's exactly. Why is this like we're gonna drip feed the most powerful monsters have a tempered and arch tempered form, but we don't have a tempered fucking chupacabra or whatever the fuck the thing is called. It's like what the fuck? Like I don't know.
Yeah, I agree. Why don't we have these other monsters? Like, because that's what I want to fight. I don't want to fight. Like, and then now you're giving me content. Now I can play these other monsters. Like, give them like 1 or 2 new moves or something. I don't need like a whole new move set.
Yeah,
make them arch tempered and then give them 1 or 2 moves. That's it.
Yeah,
like you have the money.
Sets.
Like, new gear sets.
New gear sets. Like mixed ones too, like not just like upgraded version of the monster version, like ones that are like they need multiple parts from different monsters and shit.
Yeah. And like you have the money. Capcom has the money to do that.
Yeah.
And the fact that they want to do, I don't know. This is what I'm talking about with 2010 Capcom. Like this is why I was like, okay, man, they're firing all cylinders. When is it gonna drop? When is the pin gonna drop? And when they're just gonna be like, okay, now we're gonna fuck everything up. And here it is. Like they're doing it with their flagship franchise.
Well, it was DMC the first time, and now it's Monster Hunter, bro.
Yeah, it was like I don't know, man. This is one franchise they can't afford to fuck up. They need to fix this franchise. This is their flagship franchise. I think this makes the most money, or this.
It's their biggest franchise. It's the one that sold the most copies, made the most money, etc. So, this is the most important thing Capcom makes for sure.
Yeah, so they need to fix this shit, dude. Like, bar none. And I don't know. I don't know. What do you say to that? Like, what do you say to? I don't know, Justin. Like, what do you say to that? Like, did you just say like fuck it? Like, that's what I'm saying. I just don't know. What do you say to Capcom? Like when they're blaming literally a sales hike. Like it's like he was like, oh, let's use this, guys. Look what PlayStation just did. Yeah. We can just tell our investors that.
Yeah,
they'll buy it.
The logic here is so dumb. I don't understand where it comes. Like somebody needs to sit this guy down, the president and the fucking whatever CEO, all the executives, and be like, guys, pretending that your flagship game doesn't have problems is not impressing anybody. Like, like acknowledge it and say you're going to fix it. And that's how you get people excited about your game again. Maybe not excited, but like, at least they feel good about you as the developer of said game. Approaching it this way is just gaslighting your fans and potential fans. It's to the point that like you're treating us like we're fucking idiots. And I don't know. Like they got to get their head out of their ass. I think I mean, dude, this happens with companies. It's like you said, right? They started smelling their own farts and they think they don't stink. You know, it's like
Yeah.
that's kind of where they're at. I think like they think they're untouchable. They think they're on top of the world, and it's starting to show in the decision making that they make and the way they communicate. You know, and it's true with them. It's true. It's been true with Sony. We've seen it with Microsoft. Like it happens, dude. It's like I don't
Yeah,
know.
and
We
I
might be there.
and like you said, I commend the gamers, dude. I actually commend the community. Like I'm looking at the Reddit and stuff, and people are like, no, like the article title, whatever, and then someone say in the comments, no, you broke your stupid broken core loop, or I think he meant to say you broke the core loop of the game by making the game way too easy. You defeated the purpose of farming monsters and upgrading your gear. Also, fix your goddamn performance issues. And yeah, I agree. Like, like you made the game way too easy. I know I bitched about like I don't know, man. Like, I don't even think I bitched about it. I was just like, I remember when I was like farming for the Raffles Ruby, and I was like, oh, that 1% drop or whatever the case may be. But it's just like, this is a part of the game. Like, this is why we keep playing the game. And it's not like a gotcha game where you're like, oh, I'm putting in money for that 1% character drop. It's like, I'm hunting these monsters, and I'm also getting better at the game and more efficient at the game. I just remember, like, I always bring this up. I just remember how efficient we were when we were like hunting monsters in the Guiding Lands. We were like, me and you were like, we weren't even saying anything in the PSN party. We were just like on point with each other.
I was like you were like dragging one while I was fighting the other, or whatever.
Our minds were in sync, bro. I just never hunted like that before, like at all. Like I don't know. That's just part of the game, bro. And making the game like piss poor easy, I just don't think is the way. Making like the drops piss poor easy and everything, like I don't know. They just really broke the core of the game with with Wilds. It's kind of crazy how they just and they did the one thing we wanted them to do, which was like kind of make it pseudo open world, and then they just fucked everything else up. And
but that's not even true, dude. I was thinking about that too. Is like this game really isn't open world at all. It's like open zone, and the zones are big, but they're not. It's still the same game at its core. It's still interconnected zones,
Yeah.
And they didn't even really do that right. And it's like it kind of sucks. Like it's frustrating. Cause dude, playing Death Stranding 2, they're doing things in that game that I wanted Monster Hunter to do, with like random dust storms coming in and the river, like it raining and the rivers flooding and shit. That's the kind of shit Monster Hunter should be doing. That kind of environmental design where you have like real environmental ecosystems, and they do it to some degree with the monsters, but like they didn't go all the way with some of the environments. And it's like, I will say like the swamp area or whatever is impressive. There's some impressive elements to that area, but it doesn't work the way, I don't know. It just doesn't feel dynamic enough. I think that's the thing Monster Hunter should be chasing is dynamism. Like this shouldn't be a game where it feels static unless a monster's around. It's like this should be a game where you're like walking through the forest trying to get to the monster, and like it's fucking pouring rain as you're going there, and it's like you're fucking fighting with the environment just trying to get to the goddamn monster. Forget about fighting the thing. It's like that should be the type of game they're going for, and they ended up just making like I won't call this game. I think this game is less arcadey than Rise is. Like it still feels more grounded in a lot of ways, but they made it so easy to kill monsters that it doesn't matter that it feels that way, because the game, like you can literally kill these monsters in 3 minutes or 4 minutes. It's like fucking. That's not a hunt, bro. Like like that isn't what I would call a hunt. When you're killing the strongest monsters in the game that fast, it's just not. I don't know. Like there was a dude, Monster Hunter. It's so frustrating. Like old school Monster Hunter, and I mean even World still had this, and even Rise to a degree is like there's a dance when you're playing the game, right? Like you're dancing with the monster, Yep. And I feel like in Wilds you don't have to do that. Like you kind of just spam attacks, and the thing like takes enough damage where it starts staggering, and then you break a fucking wound and you stagger it again, and you break another fucking wound, you stagger it again, and then you keep hitting it and it's taking enough damage that it staggers again, and it's like you're just spamming. Like you're not actually thinking that much about how you're playing the game anymore, and it's like they really did damage that core loop. And it's like you combine that with the reward element of the game that you were talking about, where you can literally guarantee the rare drops on, like, by picking the investigations on the map that have them. You've taken away the element of rewarding your player for grinding too. So now the game feels like it just doesn't have it. There's just no reason to play it. I'm not enjoying the gameplay anymore because it's spammy. I'm not enjoying the reward system anymore because I can just get what I need in one hunt. Like, I literally don't even have to think about it. I just get it, And like I don't know, man. It just adds up to a mixture that it makes you wonder, like, what they're doing with G rank, because I don't think G rank can just add monsters at this point and like go to the G rank level of gear and stuff. Like, they need to do more than that with that expansion. Like, there needs to be somewhat of a transformation of the game, to some degree. I feel like otherwise I don't know how well it's going to do, sales wise. This game could end up becoming like a very interesting flop, in the sense of, like, yeah, it had an explosive launch, but Capcom ruined it with the way they handled post launch. And it could be a very cautionary tale to live service games in the future. It's like, you need to understand what happened here. This isn't just like Capcom, like, released content after the game came out that wasn't good. It was one of those things where, like, this is a series that people are very hyped for when a new entry comes out. And that's where the sales came from, the initial sales, right? Everybody was super hyped. We were hyped. We were all excited about the game, but then you play the game and, like, you have to understand this on a deep level, as they, like, really broke the core of what the series is. And when you do that, those of us who've been playing the game for a long time, and I think even newer fans to a degree, they get bored and they leave and they go do something else. It's like, that's kind of what happened here. And they when other people are interested in the game, they go on Reddit and they ask, "Oh, should I get into Wilds? Like, how's Wilds?" And people are like, "No, don't get into it. It's not worth your time." And that is the worst place. That is one of the worst places a video game could possibly be. Um, is that the word of mouth is discouraging people from playing your game. It's like, especially after the launch they had, of like making 10 million in sales, so quickly. It's like, I don't know. I hope they're thinking about it, because comments like this from their president make me think that they have their heads in the sand. They think, "Oh, it's fine. There's no issue. Like, we're fine. We know what we're doing." I don't think they do, if this is the mentality they have internally. So I don't know.
Maybe they don't, and maybe he's just trying to, like, maybe he's just trying to shield the team. That's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping he's just trying to shield the team, because usually, I mean, they fixed Rise, right? And Rise was abysmal, and then they fixed it, but then the Apex monster or whatever, the anomalies came out or whatever. But, like, they fixed it to a degree, and World, I think both me and you were, like, kind of turned off by World, like the initial base game. It was better than this. But then Iceborne totally turned that game around. Like, that is like a whole new game. And I'm hoping and praying, like, we get an Iceborne level G rank expansion with this game, because it desperately needs it. So yeah, they have to make the monsters tougher. They have to make the monsters. But see, sometimes when they do stuff like this, they go overboard, and then the monsters become impossible to beat. So I don't want. Well,
they did that with they did that with Iceborne. Remember?
Yeah,
they had the. No, you remember, like, if you didn't use the clutch claw to break wounds and you, like, hit the wounds, like, it took long. Remember, they, like, increased their resistance to normal damage or something, like, across the board. You remember that shit? And that kind of turned us off from the game eventually.
Yeah,
because it felt really artificial. But they went the opposite direction with this now, where it's like they don't have anything like that. So when you're killing monsters in 3 minutes, it's like, or 3 or 4 minutes, it's like not the right direction either. We don't need the pendulum to swing that far in the other direction, right? So
I agree. I just think they need to do once they do it, once G rank comes out, then I actually judge what they're trying to do. If it's still the same shit, then unfortunately, yeah, man, this franchise may be cooked. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, maybe a long road back. We'll see.
Yeah.
All right. Let's move on to our final story. This one's, I guess, more for me, but this is interesting in general. I think is Blizzard. We've talked about Blizzard a lot on the show. They have filed a lawsuit against Turtle WoW, the private WoW server that I've played this year. I played a lot of, actually, and this is interesting. They filed a RICO suit against them. So RICO is a kind of a thing you can file as a type of lawsuit that the government, it was intended to be used against the mafia back in the day. But Blizzard is claiming that the Turtle WoW development team are a criminal organization profiting off the use of their IP. So that's how serious Blizzard is taking this. But basically, they named all the people involved with Turtle WoW to their knowledge, and one of them is the name of the owner of the server, actually. And this potentially confirmed a long-standing conspiracy that the person Torta, who's the main person for Turtle WoW, is actually somebody who's been involved with the private server scene for World of Warcraft for a long time, and they have profited from this with things like selling people max level characters, selling people geared out max level characters for like huge amounts of money and shit. There's like a huge conspiracy around this person. Their name is Shenna, I think, is what people call them. So there was that, but they also are, I mean, they're basically trying to shut the server down. Essentially is what they want to do. And the interesting wrinkle to this is that Turtle may have brought this upon themselves recently. They have been administering Google ads, like they've been doing Google ads and stuff like that. Like
God.
I have been seeing this on places sometimes where they are advertising the server in the United States using Google ads. They also had a Twitter post recently claiming that they had 500,000 active players and they had upwards of 45,000 concurrents at any given time, basically, playing on their servers, which is, by the way, fucking insane that they've gotten that popular, if that's true. And they posted this publicly, so Blizzard certainly took note of that. And then they also have an Unreal Engine 5 version of the game coming soon that is going to basically remake the game in that engine, essentially, that they've been working on for a long time. And this is a private server that, by the way, that has a team of like 100 developers, over 100 developers. I mean, this is insane. They are raking in the money on this private server. They have a microtransaction cash shop that they dub donations loosely. That is very thin defense against the idea of them profiting. But they're not based in the US, though. They're based in Europe. Their main person is based in Russia. The servers, I believe, are hosted in the UK. They have a lot of their developers are in I think Kazakhstan or something like that. So all these things to say, Blizzard's trying to shut them down. There are certain parts of this, like the person being in Russia, probably protects the main person Torta from a lot of this, but some of these other countries as well, like Kazakhstan as well, may protect some of those developers also. But the server is certainly threatened here and very well could shut down or have to go down for a long time if they like move it to a place where Blizzard can't get to them legally anymore. So yeah, this server's in trouble, most certainly. And it is interesting that Blizzard's doing this. It's not, I think it's not just about the fact that they're trying to shut this down. I think the timing of this is very interesting because Season of Discovery ended several months ago, and this was their first attempt at Classic Plus type content where they kind of added things to Classic, changed things about Classic, and see how the player base liked that. And it was very, very successful for them over the course of about a year or 2 years, I think. They were doing that, which was very interesting. And then they mentioned when they released the last update for Season of Discovery that they need time in the kitchen and they're working on something new for Classic. So it kind of really insinuates that they're working on their own version of Classic Plus. So Turtle is going to be directly competing with something that Blizzard wants to release in the near future, potentially. So there's a lot of things adding up here to where Blizzard is filing this suit, right? So I think Turtle's in trouble. At a minimum, they're gonna have to move their servers probably. Worst case scenario is they get shut down permanently and it's over. I mean, they're done. And we'll see what happens with this. I'm very personally invested in this because I have characters on the Turtle server. And I do not really want to lose those. I also really like the server. Their version of Classic Plus is awesome. I think they've done a really great job building something cool here. I will say the most interesting part of the story to me, though, is what Blizzard's future plans are for WoW Classic themselves. If they announce and release their own version of Classic Plus, I will be very interested in that personally. Like, I will honestly want to play it probably, like official retail version of that. So all that together, Montrell, what do you think as somebody who's not really that invested in this? Like, what do you think about all this?
I think either they're extremely stupid or they have something up their sleeve. Yeah, that's what I think.
Yeah,
to do the Google ads and everything like
God.
that.
Yeah,
I think it's. My thing is, like, if you're gonna run a private server and you know that it's kind of illegal or Blizzard frowns upon it, I like keep it very in house and keep it very like within the community.
Yeah,
they've
gotten very cocky recently.
Yeah,
they seem like they have kind of gotten big heads about the success that they're having, and it's getting to the point that I think Blizzard really had no choice in the matter of coming in and doing something here. Like, when you have 500,000 players and you're shouting that from the rooftops, I mean, dude, that is a huge chunk of what Blizzard currently has on live WoW servers now. Like,
I would have never said that. I would have never said anything like that. Like, I would just say, like, we have a lot of players. I mean, the peak times speak for themselves. Every time I played, there were always players playing and everything of that nature. So I would have just shut the fuck up and let my game speak for itself. Now it would have been different if like players are going to like the WoW forums and be like, oh, guys, fuck this place, go to Turtle WoW and blah blah blah. But I don't think players were doing that because players knew what would happen. Right. With that happened. So
we want to keep it quiet too, right? We don't want Blizzard to fucking shut it down. We have time invested on this server, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
And
I 100% blame the dev team, and I don't know. I know people. I saw that screenshot of people like supporting the dev team, saying like, "Oh, we won't be going anywhere," but it's almost like I would have called them like I probably would have got banned from the server, the Discord server. I'm like, you guys are fucking idiots. Like, I've been seeing how you moved, and this is 100% your fault. So yeah.
No, I agree. I think if you're gonna run a private server for a game like this, like, you need to be quiet. You need to do it in the shadows. They were raking in cash. There was no reason to start being this cocky. I mean, they're doing things like replying to official Blizzard Twitter posts and shit. Like, I don't know what they were thinking. Like, they're just like putting themselves in the crosshairs. Like,
it sounds like a self-sabotage. Maybe someone on the team was.
Yeah, maybe.
That's what it sounds like. I can't imagine being this smart but being this stupid. Like, you're running this private server, you're building content for it, like new content for it, you even moving over to the Unreal Engine, and then you're replying to the official Blizzard posts and stuff. I don't know. It almost sounds like an inside job. Like, the more you explain to me, the more That's my biggest conspiracy theory. I think it's an inside job. I don't think.
Yeah.
I think they had a mole or something like that. Like, it's stupid. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens. I'm certainly going to be following this. I mean, like I said, I'm personally invested in this story, so I will be keeping track of it. And we will see what comes of it. I will reiterate though, if Blizzard comes out with their own version of Classic Plus, I am very interested in that. Like, there are certain things I think originally when Blizzard was doing Classic, people wanted no changes, right? That was like a huge movement for Classic. But I think over the last several years of playing Classic over and over and over again, I think it's kind of gotten to the point that it's like, yeah, I think we love Classic, but it's not perfect. There's plenty of issues with it and flaws that could be made better, and why don't we do that, you know? And the idea of getting additional content and stuff like that is just so fucking cool, because dude, in Classic there's so many areas in Classic that don't have content. Like, there's no zone, like there's zones on the map you can't click on, you can't go to physically in the game. Like, there's just so much like surface area for them to expand upon, that I think they could do a lot with. And frankly, I mean, Blizzard, this would be a little shameless, but I mean, shit, they could take some of the shit that the Turtle team has done. Like, why not? It's not like it's their property, so you know, it's like,
yeah. I mean, could be one of the settlements. Like, you know, like, you guys could just come work for us. You know,
potentially that is a potential outcome. Yeah, right. And we get your assets, and we get access to all that shit. You know, and we won't put you in jail. You know,
it's like, but I just think the team is so arrogant and cocky, from what you're telling me, that will never be on the table, if that makes any sense.
Right. Like, well, dude, like, they're one of the first times where the team of these private servers hasn't just immediately folded, you know, under Blizzard's weight. And Blizzard has done a lot less in the past to make that happen. It's usually just like a cease and desist. You know, they don't actually file a whole ass lawsuit, you know? So this is a serious deal. Like, this is not a small thing. And the interesting thing about this is actually it brought some people who are like Blizzard coverage people and WoW content creators that in the past I had always wondered if they knew about Turtle, and they never talk about it publicly though, you know? Yep. And when this story came out, yeah, it became obvious that, like, oh yeah, they know about Turtle. Like, they're very knowledgeable about it. Actually, they may have even played on it. They just didn't say anything publicly, you know, because they wanted to keep this shit quiet. So,
yeah, and I think that's how it's supposed to be. Like I said, the way I don't know. Like I said, I'm not in the community, but if I were in the community like that, I would be really upset with developers, because, like you said, like, why are we taunting Blizzard? We just want to keep playing classic private server WoW, and you guys are fucking it up, you know? So I don't know.
Right. Yep. All right. Well, that's it. That's all we got for stories this week. So we'll let's close out the show here, and we'll go into the Death Stranding part. So if you guys are continuing here, we're gonna go into Death Stranding spoiler cast. If you haven't played the game, or you don't want to hear spoilers, you know, you can cut out here. So if you guys liked this episode, please like the show, review the show, and subscribe to the show whenever feed you're listening to it on. And please subscribe to us on YouTube. If you'd like to send us questions, you can do so at theplayerstake01@gmail.com via email, and we will answer those on the show. And that'll be it for us, guys, for the main show. You know, if we appreciate you guys joining us, and we will see you next week. Bye. All right, Montrell. Here we are, Death Stranding spoiler cast. We both finished the game. I finally finished it. I platinumed it. I've done pretty much everything the game has to offer for the most part. And took me about 85 hours or so. I don't think you played it. You played it a good amount, but you didn't go anywhere near as deep, right, with it?
No, I didn't do none of the platinum stuff. So
okay,
I didn't try to platinum it.
But you weren't like five. You weren't trying to 5-star places either.
No. I was just trying to get through the main story.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. Well, I mean, let's just start with the. You know, I don't think we're not gonna do this. Isn't gonna be like mega long or anything like that. But let's start with just your overall thoughts, I guess, on the game. Like, how do you feel about it?
So initially I thought the world was like super mysterious. Um, I actually really creative. The way to do a post-apocalyptic world and everything of that nature. Um, and yeah, I thought the introduction for Sam was pretty cool. Uh, his phobia and everything of that nature. Um,
Yeah.
and then like meeting meeting President Bridget Strand at the beginning and finding out like you're kind of like her son at the beginning. So like whatever the case may be. Uh, I did feel like towards the end, just fast forward towards the end real quick. I did feel like towards the end it got a little weaker.
Yeah.
Uh, and I kind of got, I will say I kind of got upset a little bit because I was just like, I was at one point I was like, I want the game to just end like at this point. And
At which point Hideo Kojima decides that he's going to put a 45-minute section of you just sitting on the beach. Like,
yes, yeah, right.
Yeah.
And I was just like, dude, bro, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I remember I stayed up to like 5 o'clock in the morning playing this game or whatever.
I did the same thing. That's hilarious.
So I don't know, like where do you want to start? Like, well, it's still kind of fresh in your head. So like where do you want to start?
Yeah, I mean, I just overall, so I think this game is really special, honestly. Like overall. I think it has a lot of big problems that we will get into, pacing being one of the biggest and some of the story elements being some of the bigger ones. But like just the overall game, like playing it, experiencing it, this world that they've built, the characters, I think all of that is fantastic and I love it. And I think this game is really unique. There's really no video game like it, except for Death Stranding 2, obviously. But I really would recommend everybody play it. I mean, if you're listening to this, you probably already have, but it's just I can't say enough about like I love that this game is tries to almost discourage you from playing, like from fighting things, a lot of the time, especially early in the game. You don't have a lot of tools at your disposal. You do not get weapons for a really long time in the game, like I mean like literally 15 or 20 hours probably. It's kind of crazy actually. But even when you get some of that stuff, it's usually better to avoid combat than to just go through and fight stuff. In most cases, it's I will say I do, with that notwithstanding, I do find the amount of forced combat to be a little clunky though. As a result, there's a lot of like forced boss fights. There's a whole chapter where you have to fight like multiple BTs in a row, and that shit fucking blows. Like,
which chapter was that?
That was episode 12, I think, when you had to go through the East region like in reverse, and you fought the giant whale at the end. You remember that?
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah, and so there's just a lot of decisions about some of the story elements of this game that I think hold it back from being like a true masterpiece. But overall, I think the game is fantastic. So getting into specifics, I guess we could start with the story. Is like I kind of just want to go through the game in order and talk about my issues with it, because I think the beginning of the game blows like really bad, and I think it kind of is a huge reason why this franchise isn't bigger than it is. Because I think it's way too long. The first zone is miserable. I hate it. Like, it is so bad the way it's designed. I think it's a lot of like corridor type, not literally corridors, but like the way the geography is designed is very corridor like. You cannot go around a lot of things in this zone. You are forced through BT zones with no way to deal with them. You are forced through mule zones with no way to fight other than punching things. Like, it's just not very fun early in the game. It does set that tone I was talking about of avoiding combat, but they force you into situations where you have to fight things, and it blows. Like, and you like are like slow walking through BT zones. You can't kill them. You can't even fight the BT at the beginning of the game. It's like the only thing you have is like this shitty hemorrhagic grenade, and you need to carry like 35 of them to kill a fucking BT. It's just fucking stupid. Like,
yeah.
And I think the eastern zone is like, it's just not very fun to trek through. There's like this forested area you have to go through that's a BT zone. There's no way around it. You literally cannot get around it. You have to go through the BTs. There's no point. Like the first way station you get to, there's 2 BT zones north and south of the river that you literally cannot avoid. You have to go through one of them. There's a mule camp you have to go through. Then there's another BT zone in the mountains going to the Port Knot City that you also have no choice. You cannot go around it. Like you have to go through it as well. And I just think that design is really bad in the beginning of the game. And it makes the early game take forever as well. Like I don't think I got to chapter 3 in less than 10 hours. Like it fucking felt really slow. Like the game, like it felt like a slog. And I'm going to be honest, like early on, I was really close to dropping the game. Like it's if I hadn't gotten to chapter 3 when I did, I was close to being done. Like I really was not having fun. And it's so that's a huge problem with the game because they start out with a lot of exposition as well, story wise. Like you said, you learn about Bridget really quickly, but there's this huge conversation with her, and then you have all these like flash-ins with Amelie on the beach and shit, where every time you go to sleep, she's fucking talking to you, and none of it makes any sense early on. You know, it's all mysterious Kojima stuff, right? There is a hook there. It's interesting. The world itself, to me, was the biggest hook that kept drawing me in to keep going, actually. Is this like ruined America that they're trying to rebuild? It's such an interesting concept. This is a post-apocalypse done in a way that is really unique. Like it's not something we've really seen before necessarily. And that those things kept me going right with the game. And I think the spoon feeding of new features eventually, like they started being interesting enough where I was like, oh, okay, this game probably gets like really cool later on. So it kept me going, and I got through the early game. I don't know how you feel about all that. Like, do you agree with me with that, or am I out on a limb there? Like,
I'm trying to think.
I mean, the trophies agree with me. I mentioned this when I was playing it early on, but the trophy, the completion percentages for this game for Death Stranding 1 are crazy, where the drop off is significant from chapters 1 to 2 to 3 to 4. Like, it's crazy steep.
So, my first playthrough, I'm trying to think of my first playthrough. I think my second playthrough doesn't count. So my first playthrough, I did drop the game at I beat the first BT boss.
So that's chapter 2. That's the end of chapter 2.
Yeah, chapter 2. Okay. So I beat the first BT boss, and then I immediately got to chapter 2, and I went over there, and I was like, all right, I think I'm going to drop the game. Yeah. I liked the game, and what crazy is I think I liked the game. Either something came up or another game came out, and I wanted to play that, or I didn't really understand like the full weight or no pun intended, the full weight of the game, like and what it was gonna do. I was like, I don't know if I want to do because I did 100 like on my first playthrough. I like did every mission. I got like
okay
on the first land or whatever, and then
I see.
So so then my second time, I was like, I'm not doing that this time. I'm just gonna hurry up and get to the second part of the game or whatever.
Yeah.
And I think the only reason, like, and this is where like sometimes spoilers actually motivate you. So the reason I was like, okay, there is other ways to do this is because I saw someone running like super fast and then drop kick somebody. It was like a clip somebody did, and they were running super fast, and then they did like a drop kick or something like that, and to one of the mules. I'm like, oh, okay, so you do get like a lot of more combat options. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna like the game looked really cool the way they were playing it too. So I'm like, it was shorts. It was like when YouTube shorts were like actually good when they first came out.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna play this game and I'm gonna give it another shot or whatever. Because I saw the Death Stranding 2 trailer and everything like that. And yeah, it was when I got to chapter 3 or the end of chapter 2, chapter 3, I was like, okay, like that's when I fell in love with the game. Especially the online aspect of it and everything like that. I really so my biggest thing with Death Stranding 1 is like the game kind of like doesn't give you the full aspect of the game until you go through and unlock everything. And I understand from like story perspective wise why they do that, right?
Yeah.
I don't know how you would balance that other ways, because like once you unlock like those 3 areas or whatever in chapter 2 or chapter 3, then you start seeing everyone else pop up with like their stuff and everything like that, or whatever the case may
Yeah.
be. But
Right.
I also do like how, in that same regard, I also do like how, like for instance, you get the storm shelter or whatever, the time fall shelter. When I started going back towards like my previous areas, like the old areas, I started seeing time shelters. I'm like, holy shit! Like people were actually coming back and doing other stuff with these. Like I can see all this stuff that's there now
Yeah.
or whatever. So I think that's cool, but then I also think that's like a hindrance because like you are. I don't have the solution for that. Like you are telling the player like there are other ways to do stuff, but like you said, that first area, like I want to disagree with you, because I really do want to disagree with you in like the first area. But like
Yeah.
the more I think about it, the more I'm like, yeah, he's right. I did drop the game, and I don't know why I dropped the game, and maybe that's the reason I dropped the game. It's
Yeah,
because
you
like
might
the
have been
first,
burnt out. Yeah,
yeah,
I mean, you
I
said
was,
you did all the orders, and dude, that's crazy
yeah, I
to
did
do
every
that in the
order.
first area. And to be fair, I didn't do everything, but I did a lot of side orders actually early on. Not understanding, because the game doesn't tell you this obviously, and I don't, like you said, I don't know how the game would explain this, but like you don't you don't know that this is going to be way easier in 20 hours. You know, it's like you should come back later and do these side orders. Like you will have zip lines and vehicles and all sorts of shit that will make this way easier to do. Like there's no reason to do this now. And doing it now sucks because you have nothing. You don't have anything at your disposal really to like fight anything and whatnot. So, um, I still do think that's the game's fault, because the second game does a similar thing. Actually, it has an intro zone, but there are no side orders. Like you can't do any side orders the first time through this area. Basically,
Hmm.
you will be able to do them later, I'm assuming, but they basically force you to beeline the story in the first few hours of the game, and I think they should have done that with Death Stranding 1 as well. Like I think that's the solution: is you don't introduce all these things. You wait until they get to episode 3 where you open up, and then you let them do side orders at that point if they want to go back and do that, if that's the choice they want to make. But you don't open it up that early, because people will more than likely explore these systems and then come to realize that this area is like not very fun to play through, you know?
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of what happens. So you know, I don't know. Because like, to your point, chapter 3, once chapter 3 opens up and you start bringing things online into the network, and the game opens up, you get your first like skeleton, you know, your leg skeleton or whatever. You get the truck, you start rebuilding roads. I mean, the game just opens up tremendously, and it's so much more fun in that part of the mid game where you are kind of making all these deliveries and you're getting new places on the network, but then you want to make deliveries while you're doing that. You know, so you're like planning out these routes where you're like, okay, I'm gonna hit this place on the way to this place and drop these like 4 things off, and then you start seeing lost cargo that you want to pick up as well, and you're trying to figure out how to grab that so that you don't, you know, overload yourself, but you want to be able to carry it all. You know, there's just all this shit that starts happening, and the game really starts to come into its own at that point. It's just, I just think chapters 1 and 2 unfortunately don't hit it the right way, you know. So but I don't want to harp on that too much. So chapter 3 is the big chapter in the game. This is probably the largest chapter in terms of time that it will take. You have to get a massive amount of the map online for chapter 3. I think you have to go all the way to South Knot City, right? Isn't that right? I believe.
I
And it
believe
ends with
so.
you throwing the nuke in the tar lake or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is what happens, where Higgs tries to trick you into delivering a nuke to South Knot City. So that's cool. And this is the chapter where you learn a lot about Fragile and her kind of journey, and what Higgs did to her with the timefall rain, and everything with her body. So what do you think about all that, like story wise?
uh I thought it was pretty cool. I actually like Higgs a lot. And
I do
was
too. He's a great villain.
Yeah, I was very disappointed when he died at the end.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was like he wasn't really the villain the whole time, and I'm like, oh my god.
We'll get into that, bro. We will get into that. Don't get too far ahead. Yeah, we'll get there. Yeah.
But
yeah,
come on, you can come in my life. You
Is it
can,
Deli?
like, yeah, it's Deli. It's very.
She wants
I figured,
attention.
I figured out the side note, y'all. I figured out why she's doing what she does. She just.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, she just wants attention. When I'm up front, and even when I'm not up front, because she used to do it in the morning too. But like I started waking up now, because I like work out and stuff like that in the morning now. Because I'm side note, I am pre-diabetic, so I have to start, eating correctly and stuff.
Gotta
like
stop dropping these fucking hammers on the show, bro.
It's not that bad. I'm not diabetic. I'm pre-diabetic.
I know. Okay,
So that runs in my family though. So there's nothing.
Okay, that makes more sense. That makes more sense. Okay.
So but I'm working out, and like she's like, my doctor was like, that's pretty much the reason why you're pre-diabetic, because you like work out a lot and shit like that. Because you probably would have been a diabetic at this point in your life. But anyway, but so I can just like adjust the way some stuff I eat into me. Long story short, I wake up early, and so she used to get really upset when we didn't show her like any kind of attention, because we would still be sleeping. She would wake up like 6 o'clock in the fucking morning and like, yo, pet me. So now she doesn't really do that anymore. Even when like I didn't show
outside
her
the litter box instead.
Yeah, so she sits outside the litter box instead.
Oh man.
But today she doesn't. She did it last week because I was in here. I'm doing a podcast and I really can't pay attention to her. She did it today. She hasn't pooped outside the box in a whole week. But today she did it. She did it like just like an hour ago or whatever. And because I did not, she came in here, she meowed at me. I was talking to you. I really didn't hear the meow until like
dude, are you
later.
Serious?
And then she went out and did it. And I was like,
so she's like mad at you that you didn't give her any attention, and she's like, that's her way of like expressing the anger. Oh my god.
Yeah, exactly. So nothing's wrong with her. She just wants more attention. So I've been giving her a lot of attention.
It's like cute and smart, but really frustrating at the same time.
You know? I think Deli. I'm sorry. I think Silas is the reason too, because like he hogs up my wife, so she comes to me, and I make sure I give her attention, and I kind of push Silas away because he's like an attention hog. So yeah. But anyway, what were we talking about again?
Fragile and
Fragile,
and what he did to her. Yeah.
I actually like that. I thought it was gonna be like really corny, but I don't know. I thought it was like
fucked situation. He puts her in.
He puts her in a really bad situation. And I actually like that. That's her whole motivation because of that whole fucked up situation that she got put in. Having to have her walk through the time fall rain and shit like that was like fucking crazy to me. Also, the whole concept of like the time fall rain is actually insane. Like, you can't go outside when it rains because you will grow old and die. Like, that's crazy to me.
Well, that's the interesting thing, because some of the lore notes, I don't know how much you got into like the interviews and the emails and stuff. Some of the rain is not timefall.
Oh, really?
There is that's one of the things that I think. So I did want to get into this a little. Is Kojima tends to play like fast and loose with some of the lore and the implications of those things, because dude, the idea of timefall rain is like horrific, right? Like if that was a true thing in the real world, you literally wouldn't be able to go outside, basically. Because like the way it probably would, like, because dude, you remember the parts of the game where you're in the mountains or whatever, and like they call it timefall snow, and it's literally all over Sam's face, and he's totally fine. It's like there's definitely like a dissonance there. I don't have a problem with it because I think Kojima's like he does a really good job of embracing the gaminess of the games he makes. He's not it's interesting because he's like an auteur, but he's not above video games. Like, he doesn't view himself like that. He's trying to make games, right? And he knows what he's making. So he doesn't like. I think he just embraces the absurdity of it all. Is kind of, but he plays it like really straight, with that embracement. So because like I was thinking about that scene with her where she's running through the rain, right? It's like, dude, she turns old so fast. Like, how does she not just fucking die? Like, I don't understand. Like the speed with which she becomes a wrinkly old lady is like fucking insane, bro. Like I don't know. I'm like, so you kind of have to suspend the disbelief for some of that stuff because if you think too much about it, it's very easy to just break the logic of it. But it's fine. I think it's still a very powerful scene regardless, right? Because it's like, dude, the decisions she has to make is so fucked, like she's like, does she really care more about her own body than saving an entire city of people, with the nuke or whatever? It's like, and she makes the obviously the heroic choice and gets the nuke out of there or whatever. But I think it's a good scene. I think Fragile's story is very cool. I like her backstory a lot. I think she's a very interesting character. She's cool. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of funny when you think about it. You like zoom out. You think so much happens in these chapters, but it's like when we're talking about it, it's like there's really not that much that happens in episode 3,
Yeah.
Honestly, it's but actually I'm forgetting, this was the part where you did your first human delivery, where you had to deliver the chiral artist girl to the junk dealer or whatever, and
I actually hated that subplot. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you.
Okay, I mean, it's not
it. It's cute, but I was just like, this is annoying as fuck. Like,
okay, did you read the emails? Because there's a whole roller coaster with them.
I did read the email.
Okay.
I did read the emails, but I do remember reading it. I specifically read their emails because he was like, I can't do this anymore. All she does is nag. And then she even said like all he does is like nag and stuff like that. And then he wanted to get a divorce, and then they end up like settling their differences and like staying together,
getting back together. No, she leaves, goes back to her mom. She's with her mom for a while, and then she ends up going back to him later when they both realize they miss each other, or whatever, and they try to make it work or whatever. So that's where it ends. But yeah, there's a whole roller coaster in the emails. It's literally, you never see these people again, by the way. Like, unless you, obviously, if you do deliveries to them, you'll see them. But, they're not a part of the story beyond the story order that you do where you bring her to him, or whatever. But yeah, the human delivery is part of the game. I'm not a huge fan of it. When you have to do it with Mama later in the game, shit was fucking awful, bro. Oh my god.
I can't really
know. Dude, no, did you that's like a real actress, right? Like the
really? Okay.
Yeah, no, she looks exactly like that. Like they literally just like, because all the major characters in this game are real people, like real actors.
I knew like I knew Fragile was a real character. I'm like, oh yeah, she's hot too. But like, I don't know. Mama was like, I was like, whoa, like this is nice.
When they got close, it's funny because when you see them in the holo transmissions, like they don't look like, she didn't look very attractive in those. But then when you get to her, bro, you get to her lab and you're like, holy fuck, what the fuck is going on, bro? Like, she's gorgeous. Like, what the hell? But no, I mean, if you go look at the real actress, her name is Margaret Qualley. Like, she's very beautiful. So
yeah, she's attractive. Yeah,
but yeah, no. So chapter 4 is the first time you do one of the flashbacks with Clifford, where you're fighting him in like World War II, I think.
Okay,
I want to say or World War One. Might have been World War One, actually. Yeah,
I love and hate this character.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm gonna skip a little bit because I want to rant about this character.
Oh, Miss Kitty wants attention too.
Yeah, Deli was just here in my lap. Now I petted her. Now she's like, "Okay, I'm done. Thank you." Cats are so fucking ridiculous.
I love them so much though.
But yeah, so I just want to say the hype around this character in the trailers, I thought he had a bigger part. Even in the flashbacks, I thought he had a bigger part than what it was. I thought the reveal for him was pretty cool, like who he actually is to Sam, and and then like you find out that baby is actually you in the flashbacks the entire time.
I love that.
That was pretty cool. I just think he should have had a bigger role. I don't know how to explain it, but like,
it's hard though because he's dead technically, right?
Yeah,
like he's been dead for like 35 years, or whatever. Like, or maybe not that long, but like for a very long time he's been dead, in the game world. So we'll get there, but like I think this game has two major plots in parallel that are going. There's the BB, Clifford, Lou, Sam plot, and then there's the Amelie, Higgs, fucking Fragile plot side of the game. Like those are two kind of separate plot lines that are happening in parallel with each other, and they're both like A plots. Like neither one of them is a subplot of the other, really. Like they're both very important. They do intersect a little bit, but not that much, really, actually. And we'll talk about that later when we get to the late game. But so I agree. I think the introduction to Clifford is, I mean, you see him early in the game in the flashbacks that Sam's experiencing through the BB or whatever. And obviously the game makes you think that they're BB's memories, not Sam's memories, which is a cool like Uno reverse at the very end of the game. I think that was a really well done.
Really cool.
I didn't see that coming.
I didn't either. That was actually pretty cool. I was like, oh, because even my wife was like watching me play. She was like, oh, this is actually really, really cool.
Yeah. And but I don't know about you. Did you like the flashback chapters, the 3 combats?
Yes, or I actually did.
Okay, I actually really like these two. I don't know. I like the idea of these fights in the sense of like this is a game where you're generally speaking not fighting very much, and they throw you into these encounters where you like kind of have to be really tactical all of a sudden. Like
I actually tweeted about that. I was delivering packages, and then the next thing I know, I'm in Call of Duty. Like,
bro, it's also cool in the like they recreated some environments in these war zones that I think were really fun as well. Like World War I, that one's probably the worst one in the trenches or whatever. I didn't really like that one as much, but the World War II map and the Vietnam map
Vietnam
awesome.
Map is so fucking cool.
Dude, they're so awesome, bro. I think they're so fun to fight in. I like the Vietnam one the most as well because that one you can play a lot more like hit and run with, where you like take out one of the guys and then you move and then you take out another one. Like you're not like just straight fighting them necessarily. So I really liked the approach there with these. So I really enjoyed these two. Like I thought these were really cool. I will say they're like importance or what actually was happening there was like really confusing for a long time. Like these supercell storms show up. Sam gets sucked into them, and you are in this place and you're fighting Clifford in his memory or whatever on this beach that they're calling it or whatever. And then you come back and you were in that for like a second in real world time. That's kind of what happens or whatever. Yeah. But these don't have importance other than the fact that it's a connecting point with Cliff, really. Like they're not there for a specific reason per se, but I still like them anyways. They're not like offensive to me in that regard. So I don't know. I enjoyed these sections of the game personally.
I liked him as a character. I just wish he had, I don't know. I just wish they used that actor because I love that actor a lot. I can't remember his name.
Mads Mikkelsen.
But yeah, Mads Mikkelsen. I think he's like a really cool actor. I watched his Silence of the Lambs or his Hannibal series when he did that. So yeah, I like that character. I like that actor a lot. And I don't know. I think he was very underutilized here. He did a very good job though. He did set the mood and the tone for the game. I just love when he rises out of the fucking beach and then his 4 minions rise up and he just like does the tactical.
Well, and he does the fucking, the go forward signal or whatever. Yeah, and he doesn't say anything, Yeah. It's just sick. Really, it's like cool. Really badass. I don't know. Yeah. There's something really cool about it.
This game also made me realize how much I miss like Metal Gear. And I was just like, I
Yeah.
really want Kojima to do a Metal Gear game.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
I really want him to do a Metal Gear game.
Yeah.
Because especially playing in the environment from Vietnam, it just reminded me so much of like if he did like a remake of like the original Metal Gear, because Snake was in the jungle in that game and stuff like that. Or
Yeah.
obviously we got Metal Gear 3 that just came out or whatever. So I don't know. It was just a really cool thing. I would also like to see them like the Vietnam or the World War II thing. I would like them to just make a game in that kind of setting or whatever.
Yeah.
Like maybe
Yeah.
just on that beach or whatever, and you just follow a soldier's like journey to how he
Yeah.
got to that beach or something like that. I think Death Stranding with the beach potential, they have a lot of good spin-offs they can do. Obviously not milk it. Kojima's probably not gonna do that because he doesn't want to fucking milk this shit. But
Yeah.
I just think like certain things are like really cool. I do like the whole idea of like how you said that there are like when Dead Man told you like there are other beaches, quote unquote, that people go to. So your beach may not necessarily be the beach that I go to if we die or whatever the
Right.
case may be.
Right.
You know,
Right.
so I thought that was pretty cool because like that means there are like an infinite number of beaches out there and like
They could all have different
like
forms too. Yeah.
exactly, yeah. It's like different forms of being fucked up and shit like that.
Yeah.
And like I felt bad for the people too, like when you're like kind of killing them and then they're reviving themselves because they're just reliving that shit over and over and over again.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
It's fucked up. So yeah, that's cool. So that's the end of chapters 3 and 4, and then the next chapter's Mama, where we meet Mama for the first time. We find out about her baby that she gave birth to while she was stuck under some rubble after Higgs nuked South Knot City or whatever. So that was a pretty fucked up origin story for her. I was not expecting that either. It just kind of came out of nowhere, but it was well told though. I appreciated it a lot. But how did you like this chapter though with the journey north? You have to go around the mountain all the way to Mountain Knot City, and then you have to go back to Mama, and then you have to take her all the way to Mountain Knot City on foot. Like how did you feel about all of that, chapter 5?
Wasn't a big fan of that aspect of it because I
Yeah.
couldn't really do anything. But you did have a lot of tools at your disposal.
Yeah.
So I was able to. I think you're able to put them in vehicles, right? The bodies, like humans, you're able to put them in vehicles,
No,
right?
only
You're
dead
not?
bodies. Dead bodies. Not. Oh no, you're right. You can put them in vehicles. Actually.
Yeah. So I think I did put her in a big truck. I put her in the big one.
Okay.
And my
You
road
just drove
in that,
around.
and
Yeah.
I drove around until I couldn't drive anymore, and then I started carrying her to
Okay.
no.
I was smart, actually. I don't remember if I saw this coming or what, but I built a zipline network from the weather station all the way to her lab or whatever. So I was able to get all the way there.
So you can zip line with humans?
Yeah, you can. Yeah.
Wow, I did not know that.
And I'm pretty sure this because I'm pretty sure this is what I did because I ziplined all the way to the weather station and then I just walked across the mountain through that middle section. That's pretty actually pretty easy to get through. So that's what I did for her, but I didn't have roads set up by this point in the game quite yet. I hadn't done all that yet. So I had a road from Lake Knot all the way down to South Knot, but I hadn't done any of the ones around the mountain or through the mountain, like over the middle of the mountain either. So I didn't have quite all that quite set up yet, but yeah, no, chapter 5, I mean, this is where you start running into terrorists, but also who are actually trying to murder you now, rather than just steal your shit. And you run into mountainous terrain for real mountainous terrain for the first time. Did you run into the rock slides, by the way?
No, I didn't know there were rock slides.
Yeah, dude, there's certain parts of the mountains where there are rock slides that are constantly happening, basically. And one of those is right on the north side of the way station, the first way station you get to that's north of Mountain Knot City. There is a rock slide to the west of that that's constantly happening. And dude, when I was going through that, because when I was walking the first time through to get everything connected, dude, those started happening, and I see these giant rocks just rolling down the fucking mountain toward me. I was like, what the fuck, dude? Because they're loud as shit. Like, it's very jarring, actually. Because you're like, what is that noise? And then you look up the mountain, and you're like, holy fuck, this giant rock like coming down towards you. And bro, I never got hit by one, but I can imagine you just like fucking die immediately, you know, or whatever. Because some of them are huge, like they're massive. They're really difficult to avoid. But so no, I thought this section was kind of cool, but it's interesting because I was like trying to map out the actual country as I was going. So when you get to that section, I was like, dude, where am I right now? Like, am I in like fucking Montana or something when you're like north of the mountains, or whatever? So no, it's just like, it's cool to see their like rendition of the US as well, as you're like going through the game. Also, so
yeah, and that's another thing you got to like suspend your mind on, right? Like, 'cause
yeah,
obviously you're getting
course.
across the US in like a matter
10
of
minutes.
sometimes.
Yeah, you're like driving across it in like 10 minutes or whatever in a truck.
Yeah.
But I will say the first time I got on the mountain though, I was like fucking flabbergasted, dude. I was like, because the whole game up to that point, you're driving along the eastern side of the central zone, you know, and you're like, you see this mountain in the distance and you're like, oh, that's kind of cool, you know, oh, that's really cool, like set dressing or whatever. And you're like, in your head, you see it on the map and you're like, you're not really sure. I wasn't really sure like what was going on the western side of the zone, like how that was going to work or whatever. I was like, surely I can't go all the way up that mountain though. And like, you know, and then yeah, you start getting orders to go across the mountain and you're like, nope, you can just go up the entire mountain all the way to the peak if you want to. It's like fucking crazy, you know, because like it's one of those things, because most games like they'll tout the idea that you can go anywhere, right, in a game. And this game never did that, right? They never marketed the game that way, but it's one of those things you see it in the distance and you're like, oh, it'd be kind of cool if you could go up there. And then it's like, yeah, you can go up there. It's like, oh shit, I wasn't really expecting that for whatever reason. I don't know why, but it kind of just was like really awesome when I got up there and I was like, dude, this fucking rules, you know? Like traversing this sucks dick, but it's cool that I can be here, you know?
I can't believe this shit was on the PS4. When I got to the mountain, I was like,
I agree.
This is on the PS4 Like, this is
because it's always rendered, dude. You know, like
exactly.
it never disappears or anything. Like it's the draw distance in this game is fucking crazy. Actually, I have
no idea how they got this on the PS4, dude.
I don't know. I totally
they optimized the shit out of this game. Like,
yes. Yeah. No, it's very impressive. I think the mountains are amazing. Like it is an amazing fucking environment. Like, to go through. It's obviously it's a pain in the ass a lot of the time, but I just love the way it's designed from like a topographical standpoint. You know, it's like it feels very real. You know, like you're literally on a fucking hike in the Rockies, bro. You know, like it's fucking nuts. You know, so no, I think that's really cool. I think chapter 5 is like where a lot of that stuff starts to come in and it's really fun part of the game. But the mama trek is kind of annoying for sure. Cause you leave her lab and you're immediately attacked by a giant BT that Higgs throws at you too. Obviously.
Oh my God. I forgot about that part. Yeah.
I went back inside her lab and put her down and then I killed it.
I just ran. I did.
Oh, you just ran? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I will say that is the part of the game I like, is that you can approach these things in different ways, right? Like I decided to kill it. You didn't. You just ran out of the area, you know?
Yeah.
I do think the game does a good job of letting you approach things however you want to, which is cool.
I will say at the end of that mission, though, I was mad that she died because I feel like it was all for nothing. And then her twin,
yeah. Well, they combined into one person basically. Yeah. And it wasn't very well explained, but it's another one of those suspend your disbelief things because they are the same. They are the same person from that point in the game on. Like they aren't two separate people anymore. When you're talking to Lockney, like Mama's there too. You know, like she hears you and has her own thoughts and feelings and whatnot. It's weird, but I that's how it works, I guess. So, but But yeah, I agree with you though, because I was like, dude, like she immediately dies the second you deliver her, and I was like, dude, that's so fucked up, or whatever. But did you? Okay, so there is a cool little Easter egg with her, actually, though. When you're in the middle of the delivery with her, did you stop and take a bath with her? In a
No,
hot
I
spring?
didn't know you could. I didn't know you could.
Yes, dude. Yes. So you know, in the middle above the weather station, if you go up the mountain, like past the weather station, there's a hot spring at the top of the slope or whatever, by the roboticist. Do you remember this?
Yeah.
I went there, and obviously at that point my stamina was like kind of low, and I knew the hot spring could replenish it, so I was like, oh fuck it, I'll stop and take a bath or whatever. And I didn't expect this, but yeah, when you take the bath with her, she's there, she's in the bath with you, like, and she is like taking her own bath. And you're like separated, like you're not near her or whatever, like you're not close to her or anything, but when you get out, she says, Sam, that was nice, thank you, or something like that, and I was like, okay, that's cool, I didn't expect that either, like it's a cool little Easter egg. So it's just like some interest. The game's like got really like cool little things like that all over the place, that you can do. Because it's weird, you do that, and then like literally 10 minutes later, I'm delivering her to the city, and she dies. Like I'm like, well, that was a cool Easter egg, but this is kind of fucked, So, so I don't know. The game is very interesting, but after that, I think it's the Dead Man chapter where you do some deliveries in the mountains, and then Dead Man gets pulled into Cliff's second beach with you and Lou, and you have to go find him, and you're fighting in the World War II zone or whatever. This is a cool section of the game, but I will say this was the kind of the part where Dead Man plants the seed of doubt around Die Hardman as well, with you and Sam. Also, there's like a little mini conspiracy supposedly going on that he's trying to figure out as well. So this is a cool part of the game, but this was a relatively short chapter. I think it was only like an hour or two, really.
Yeah.
So like full complete or anything like that. So anything you want to say about this one?
Nah, we can keep going.
Okay. The next one was Hartman. After that, where we meet Hartman for the first time, and this was a really cool section. I really like Hartman. I love his little lab or whatever. Like it's super fucking cool, man. Where he has the, everything's padded on the floor because he might, if he fucks something up, he's just gonna pass out on the floor. Because he's dying every 21 minutes and going to the beach for 3 and coming back or whatever. But I really liked his walls lined with DVDs and stuff. I thought that was really cool. And like old media and stuff.
Yeah.
And then his whole explanation about the extinction events or whatever, and their theory that this is the 6th extinction or all that. That's where
I did like that. Yeah.
Comes out. Yeah. So yeah, what did you think about this section of the game? This is the second part of the mountain area where you're getting like the paleontologist and the
I thought it was a really cool, wacky character to meet. He dies every 20 minutes, I think it is, right?
It's 21, 21 minutes.
21 minutes. Yeah, 21 minutes. And how he is like, I'm exploring the beach and everything, like looking for his wife and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I don't know, I thought that was really cool. And then how he said like, they also tied that into like real life events of like, the actual extinctions that happen and everything like that. And the Death Stranding is the cause of that. So I thought it was just like overall, like a lot of lore was explained. And I thought it was just like really cool.
Yep. Okay, cool. Yeah. And I like this chapter too. I think Hartman's a really interesting character. Then we get into the end game. So you cross the tar belt or whatever, which did you figure that out on your own, by the way?
No. I looked it up, dude. I didn't either.
Confused. I didn't either. Yeah. And how did you do it? There's multiple ways to do it. How did you end up doing it?
So refresh my memory. You had to get a BT to chase you, right? And then
so I didn't do it that way. There's another way to do it.
Okay.
So I did go online and look, and yeah, people were explaining the BT method. You have to like pull a BT into the tar or something and let it eat you, I think, or something. I don't really quite remember. because I didn't do it that way. I found there was another method where you could throw hematic grenades into the tar and it would it would bubble you to the top if you walk through it. So I just took 6 packs of hematic grenades with me and did that, like walked all the way, and Amelie is standing in the middle of the tar lake, basically, and you need to get to her.
What?
And it took forever to do, and it was actually really tight. I almost didn't make it. Like, I was gonna be pissed.
Yeah,
but
when you get pulled in by the BT, the whale comes out, and then buildings
got you. I didn't do it that way, bro. No.
That's insane. Yeah, because the whale comes out of nowhere, and then buildings come up. I didn't
see any of this. Yeah.
And then then you start jumping off across the buildings, and then that's how you get to the other side.
Really? Oh, that's right. Yeah, it's supposed to float build. Yeah, no, dude, I'm telling you, I didn't. So you didn't see Amelie on the tar lake, or did you?
No, dude, I didn't know that was a thing.
Okay, so no, this is what I mean. This game is really cool. So yeah, no, I didn't do it that way. So like I said, I was using hematic grenades, and you throw them in front of you, and you just step into the spray or whatever, and it will bubble Sam all the way to the top, like the highest he can go in the tar. For whatever reason, it creates like a pseudo platform you can walk on, basically. And they're not there for very long, so you have to be quick. You have to aim them correctly, like in front of you, to do it. But yeah, you do it long enough, and Amelie's just standing in the middle of the tar lake. And when you get to her, a cutscene played. And for me, Sam passed out, and I just ended up on the beach at the Edgenot Distro Center on the outer side of the city, basically.
No way, dude. That is not what happened for me.
Yeah,
I think so. I think you fight like a giant BT.
Okay.
And you do pass out. You get to Amelie. That's what happens. Okay, so that's okay. I'm remembering now. So you fight the giant BT, or you don't fight it, but he's chasing you. And you jump.
Yeah, and you let the buildings bubble up, and you walk across the buildings.
Yeah. And then you reach the middle of the lake, and then Amelie does something with you or whatever, and then you pass out, and then you wake up on the other side. But I didn't know you can just do that method. That's crazy. That's actually insane.
It's way more tedious, I think, the way I did it. Like, it's not very fun, and it takes forever because she's really far out, dude. Like, it's kind of insane, actually. But no, yeah, that's funny. That's really, really interesting. So yeah, you meet Higgs on the beach. He taunts you or whatever. And then you have the whole section where you have to go put Edgenot into the chiral network. You come out, and then you have the giant Higgs fight against the huge the Titan BT. I don't even know what it's called.
That fight was all right. I thought
it was annoying. I didn't like it very much.
It was a very classic PS3 fight, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, I agree for sure. And then you're sucked into Amelie's beach, I think, and you fight Higgs. So I wanted to ask you about this. Did you play the game on normal?
I cannot remember. I think I did play the game on normal.
Well, this will answer that question. Did you, when you were fighting Higgs on the beach, were there weapons? Or did you have to?
I had to throw briefcases at them.
So I think you were playing on hard then, because I heard that if you play on hard or very hard, weapons do not spawn, and you have to throw cases at him to stun him long enough to run up and punch him, basically, which is how I did it. And it sounds like you did it as well. I think on lower difficulties, like normal and below, guns will spawn and you just shoot him.
Really?
So that is an interesting change as well in the game.
So I played it. I beat the game on hard. That's crazy. I didn't think I was playing it in hard mode.
Yeah, hard's not very hard. It's not a very big difference for the game, but there are small things like that, I guess, in some of the difficulty aspects. Because this fight was. I mean, did you like the fight? Having to do that the way we did
it? I thought it was pretty cool, actually.
I did too. I loved it because you're sneaking around. What I learned though later, actually, is there's another method to doing this. When I was reading what people were saying after the game, is I think the intended way for you to fight this is you sneak around and use the strand on him, Like you do a stealth kill on him, basically.
Oh, I was doing that with him as well, but sometimes he'll find me and I just fight him.
And you just go punch him, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I did not do that at all. I just started once I figured out the case throwing thing, I just was doing that mostly. But so yeah, no, that fight was cool. There was like a fist fight in the middle of it as well, where you have like a health bar, like it's fucking like Street Fighter or something, which was funny. That was like I feel like that was a callback to like MGS4 or something. Is what it felt like. But no, that section was cool. I really liked that. How'd you feel about Fragile coming in and ultimately she doesn't kill Higgs? Actually, she gives him a choice, I think, is what she ended up saying at the end of the game. And she I don't know if I don't know what happens with Higgs, but I don't know if he's actually dead or not. So
I thought that was him being just tortured on that beach or whatever, something like that, right? Like he's gonna live in eternity on that beach. I thought that's something I would do. I always say it like this is like, I don't want to be political. I always say the death penalty was like kind of crazy because like you're letting that person get out easy by getting sentenced.
We don't even know, right? We don't know, but
yeah,
it's like they're probably getting out easy, more than likely.
Exactly.
Like,
so I thought him just being on the beach was like a better thing, or a better punishment for him.
Yeah.
So this is the part of the game where, I was just like, all right, man, you got it.
Well, yeah, you want to talk about Higgs real quick? Because Higgs is out of the game after this. Like, and he's been the main villain the whole game, or at least perceivably been the main villain the whole game, and him getting like little broed by Clifford.
That's actually a really good point to say.
Yeah, like Cliff and then Amelie was really annoying because he was the compelling villain to me of the three. And I was kind of irritated about that as well. I have a lot of issue with the end of the game, in terms of from a story perspective. So like, so Higgs is like out of the picture after this. You beat him, which honestly, frankly, makes very little sense. This dude can literally teleport and has a gun. Like, how is he losing to Sam in a fist fight? Like, I don't really. This is the like dissonance I'm talking about with Hideo Kojima stuff. Is like, it's completely absurd that Sam beats him at all. Like, but then again, because like what he said was like the repatriate thing wouldn't have worked on the beach. Like, if he got shot and killed, like Sam would have actually been dead for real. So it's like you don't even have that at your disposal in this situation, but he wins anyways. And Higgs is out of the picture. I will say there's a little moment with Amelie where Fragile, like, did you catch this too? Where Fragile's like, her like mood shifts completely when Amelie comes into the picture with Sam. And Sam's talking to Amelie, and they're like, and Amelie's like, we don't need your services anymore, like, or whatever. And Fragile just like, she just seems like really pissed, and she just like leaves, and she's like, later, Sam, we're good, and like, and just walks away, or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, I thought that was interesting. There, like, I don't know if, because Fragile didn't really, she didn't know Amelie, obviously. And it makes you wonder if she like suspected something deeper at that moment, but didn't want to say anything. I don't know. That was interesting, but yeah. So this is what happens with Higgs. And then we go to chapter. What do we go to? Chapter 10 after that, which is that another Clifford fight? I believe, or is 11 a Clifford fight? I think 11's a Clifford fight. Is 10?
11 was the final. Okay, I can't. Honestly, I can't remember. I know we do one more final Clifford fight.
Death Stranding. Let me look up the episode names. Let's see. Oh, 10 is Die Hardman. So this is where we learn a little bit more about Die Hardman. I think we learn his real name, his connection to Cliff a little bit. And then on the beach, on Amelie's beach, this is where the game pisses me off a little bit story-wise. So Sam and Amelie are on her beach, and they're kind of walking and talking, and she brings him to a little outcropping, and they're looking down on Die Hardman holding up a gun to Bridget, I think, who was there was fucking there. And then Clifford comes out of the water with his squad of 4 dudes or whatever. And he then holds up Die Hardman, who's like, can't believe what he's seeing because of his connection to Cliff or whatever. And then they go after Sam, who thinks they're going after Amelie, but then Amelie kicks him out of her thing, and then he gets pulled into a fucking Clifford memory or whatever, right? I think.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember. Oh, you know what? No, I remember. She kicks him out. You're at the Tar Lake is where you come out, and you have to go across the central zone to Port Knot City. And then you get there, and there's a supercell that sucks you in, and then you go into episode 11. That's what happens in that episode. So, and then Deadman does a whole bunch of exposition about Die Hardman, who he is, his connection to Cliff, who Cliff is. You learn whole lot about these guys, that they were like special forces together, basically, and that Die Hardman tried to help him escape with his baby back in the day, the first BB, way back in the day. And then you get into the supercell, and we fight another, Clifford fight in Vietnam, basically. So a whole bunch of shit there. But what I want to go back to the beginning of what I was talking about on the beach with Bridget, Die Hardman, Clifford coming out, Amelie being there. Clifford coming out on Amelie's beach felt like an important moment. Like he was like taking control of the situation, and he was going to become the primary villain. But am I crazy and being confused by the fact that when you go back to Amelie's beach later, he is gone, and like it's like he was never there,
I thought it was because you beat him in the memory, right? Or you beat him.
He finally reveals to you. But that's not explicitly explained. So I mean, that kind of makes sense, sort of, but I don't know. I just didn't like the way that played out in the game, I guess, like story wise. It because like Die Hardman wasn't there either, and he got kicked out by Amelie as well, or whatever. And that form of Bridget that was there, must have been some kind of like made up thing by Amelie and her beach. I don't know. I just felt like that whole thing was weird. But your explanation makes sense, though. Beating Clifford in his memory in the last one makes him go away in Amelie's beach, I guess, technically, is how it went. I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean that's how I took it. I will admit though, like this whole part of the game, I was like thoroughly confused. I had to look up like several different videos to explain what the fuck happened.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay. Well, for your trek across the U.S., did you have enough roads set up to just drive, or how did you do it?
Yeah, I just had enough roads to drive.
Okay. Yeah, by this point in the game, I had a full road network. I had rebuilt every single road, so I just... I just had to get to my zipline network in the mountains, and then I just ziplined a mountain knot, got a truck, and drove. Like it was super easy for me. So yeah. And then after that, episode 12. This is probably my least favorite episode in the whole game. Is you get to the Eastern Zone and you're in Port Knot City, and you have to trek across the capital Knot City, but all of your structures are fucking destroyed. You come back, and I had built a full zipline network in the Eastern Zone, like from everywhere to everywhere else. So when I showed up here and they said all my shit was destroyed, I was like, are you fucking serious? I have to walk all the way. And then you have to walk through a force BT fight through the mountains. Yep. And you fight one BT. There's another BT fight that I think you actually can avoid because I didn't do it ultimately. But I think there's another one somewhere on the way, and then you fight the giant whale at the end. But if you don't save in the middle of this, specifically do a manual save, if you die at any moment in this whole thing and you didn't save, you're going all the way back to the beginning at Port Knot City.
No.
Which actually happened. Yeah, it happened to me twice, and I got fucking pissed because I was like, I didn't remember to save, and I died because I died against the BT once, the first BT. I didn't have enough shit with me, and it ended up killing me for whatever reason. And then the second time, I accidentally fucking fell from like a really high height and fucking died, and I was raging at that one. And I had to go do the BT fight a third time. And at that point, I was like, okay, I need to make sure I fucking save after I'm done with this shit. So yeah, I hated this chapter. The fight against the whale was mega easy though. Like that fight was super easy. But I mean, what did you think about this? Did you do it all in one go? Like you didn't have the same issues I had, I guess.
Yeah, I did it all in one go. I didn't even know they did that to you. I almost died, but were you playing online? Because like people will throw you supplies and everything like that.
Yes. No, I got caught in a spot on one of the buildings, and the thing kept fucking hitting me. Like it, I don't remember exactly how it happened, but I ended up dying to the BT boss, and yeah, that shit was. Oh no, I remember what it was. I didn't die. The fucking cargo got destroyed. That's what happened. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it broke the fucking cargo on my back. So the second time I left it in the truck and specifically stopped before and walked out and fought it. And then I don't remember how the cargo got destroyed, but I think it fell off my back and fell into the water and submerged like completely. Because you remember that one you couldn't submerge it in water?
Yeah.
Was one of the stipulations. And I think it fell off my back in some bullshit way and fell in water and fucking like completely destroyed itself in like 3 seconds because it was all fully underwater, basically. So yeah, it was annoying. It was mega annoying. So yeah, you do that, you get back to Amelie's beach, and then this is where the whole end game really happens, where you have to make the choice to not shoot Amelie on her beach. You got to hug her or whatever. And then you do the 45-minute exposition dump with her on her beach, and then the whole end game happens with the inauguration and Sam deciding not to incinerate Lou and takes her out of the pod, and it ends up working out. She doesn't die, and that's kind of the end of the game, basically. So this whole end game sequence, how did you feel about all of it?
This is the part of the game I actually hated. I was really, and granted, I was really tired by this time, so I remember my mood by this time of the or whatever, and yeah, I was kind of just over it, dude. And yeah, I remember the exposition, and so I'm trying to remember the story, right? So
yeah,
she was actually Bridget the entire time.
Yes,
right?
Correct. Yes, so that was explained. She explains all that. So she was born as Bridget, but her ha and her ka were separated.
Yeah,
and
that part pissed me off. I was like, because I had to actually look up what ha and ka meant, and I was like, dude, what the fuck?
Yeah, I think it was the ka is the one that's Amelie. Bless you. Is the one that was Amelie that's stuck on the beach, and the ka is her body. I think
is Bridget, right? And Bridget couldn't live. And Bridget couldn't live without the ka. That's why she slowly died, right?
Right. She eventually got cancer because, yeah, exactly. Like she wasn't able to fully live. But Bridget made Amelie up as a person and had records of her created of being a living person with, enhanced dooms and all these weird, diseases that she had or whatever, to kind of explain why she's never but nobody's ever met her or whatever besides Sam, and Sam's memories of Amelie are all on the beach. He doesn't have any memories of her in the real world.
Yeah,
basically, but he doesn't realize this until she's explaining it to him very late in the game or whatever. Did you figure out the hugging thing where you had to not shoot her, or did you have to look that up?
I shot her the first time, and then the game ended. So I just hugged her. I just walked up to her, and then it gave me the option to hug, I believe. And I was like, okay.
I think you had to put the gun away though to get that to show up.
Okay. I didn't
I
look
think
it
it
up
took
though.
me
I
3
think
attempts, I think, before I
yeah,
realized like
I didn't look it up, but I do remember like I was just like maybe I did put the gun up and I just walked up to her after that because I was
yeah.
trying to figure out what to
Yeah.
do, but only took me two attempts to do it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I think it was my third time I realized like, oh, what else can I do in this situation besides shoot her? Okay, I can put the gun away. Let me try that. And then yeah, the prompt for hug came up. So yeah, no, but the 45-minute exposition dump where the credits are playing on the beach is I mean, I understand what he was trying to get across with this is he's trying to show like kind of make the player experience what Amelie was going through. Because Sam is on that beach for an indeterminate amount of time. Like we don't know, but it's supposedly a really, really, really long time. Um, and like that's kind of what's implied when he comes out of it. But so I get that, but like to your point, dude, it's like 3 a.m. and I'm literally like just trying to get to the end of this fucking game. And he decides to do this 45-minute exposition dump that has 5 to 10 minute breaks between the exposition dumps, you know? And I remember, dude, I was watching this and I go on Reddit and I'm like looking up like how do people feel about this? And dude, people were like, this shit sucked. I'm scrolling my phone right now while I'm fucking waiting for her to talk or whatever. And like people were saying, I don't even give a shit about what she's talking about anymore. Like it takes you out of the game the way it's executed. Like you're not engaged. Like it's not keeping you engaged, unfortunately. And I think it's poorly executed as a result, you know? So I don't know. I didn't like it either, to be honest.
Yeah, it was a really bad. And I want to say that that was the director's cut. I maybe not. I don't know. It just seemed like he added all that in at the end. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't
No,
know.
I think it's in the original game. The threads I was reading were from 2019, so I think it was always there. And he stubbornly didn't change it for the director's cut, which seems crazy, but so yeah, no, I don't know. I mean, it's cool, like it's important information. I just think the Amelie plot, like I was saying earlier, there's two plots. I think the Amelie plot really fell flat for me at the end of the game. Like I really did not give a shit about her. I didn't care about the extinction entity bullshit. Like really, it's cool conceptually from like a lore standpoint, but I don't feel like it landed as a narrative, really. Whereas the other side, the Lou, Cliff, Sam side landed really well. I feel like I love that part of the game. At the end of the game, I think the very end where he's having the flashback of Cliff's, failed escape attempt with Die Hardman helping him, was really cool. And then realizing that Sam is the BB that he was searching for the whole time, and that he's, Sam is Cliff's son. Like I think all that stuff worked really well for me. But the Amelie stuff, on the other hand, didn't really. I don't know. It didn't really come together. Unfortunately.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I was just really over it by the end of this. Uh, by the end, they could have done this in a better way. Um, or honestly, just let Higgs be the fucking main villain, dude. I just
Yeah.
didn't like that she was like controlling Higgs the entire time and all this other shit. And
Yeah, right. Exactly. I agree. Well, and she was the one giving him his powers.
yeah, so that's the one part I don't understand, right? So maybe you can refresh my memory. So was she doing all this because she knew like the sixth extinction event was going to happen and she wanted Sam to stop it?
Yes. She knows, I mean, she's the extinction entity. She knows that she has to do it. Like it's within her nature. She can't avoid it, but she wants to, right? She doesn't actually want to cause the extinction. So that is her whole plan, was to use Sam to get him to stop her, basically, was ultimately her plan. And it kind of worked because she like cut her beach off from everyone else's beaches. So she can't do it the way originally intended, I guess, Um, But
Okay, why didn't she just tell? I mean, I understand it's a video game.
yeah,
Why didn't she just tell him that from the start?
I have no fucking idea. I have no idea why all the subterfuge and Bridget needed to exist, and I have no
like,
idea, dude. I
like
don't know.
so much time could have been saved. Just like, yo, Sam, listen. Actually, I'm fucking Amelie is not real, or Amelie is real. We're the same person, me and Bridget, and I need you to come to my beach and stop me from doing this.
Yeah,
I don't know. That part really confused me, and I was just like, I get everything, but I mean, I guess it's a plot hole. Like, I don't
yeah,
know.
yeah,
It was just really weird.
yeah. No, I think I think there was some attempt by her to tell Sam when he was younger, because there's like a moment where he remembers something she said and it makes sense in context now with the knowledge he has. I forget what it was exactly, but there was something along those lines. It just I don't even remember what it was though. That's my point. It just doesn't land very well because of the delivery and everything. So and I felt really annoyed. You know, the other thing about Higgs that annoyed me though is I felt really bad for Troy Baker actually because
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, he's the one video game person in this fucking game, and Kojima's gonna do this to his character. Like, come on, bro. Like, let him be the main villain. You know, like I don't know. It felt a little fucked up to me, um, but whatever. I don't know, dude. Yeah. What about the stuff after the beach? With Die Hardman getting he's the president of the UCA and all that, and kind of the aftermath. How'd you feel about all that?
I didn't like the crying part. I thought that was a little bit much. I was just like, all right, bro, cool.
Yeah,
Like, I didn't know. I'm sorry. I was like,
yeah, yeah. Oh, with him, yeah. Oh, with him
yeah,
talking to Sam in the hallway. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah. And
yeah.
Sam's just like, whatever, bro. Shut up. Like,
Yeah, he was exactly like that.
go be the fucking president. You know, like, yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
I didn't like that part. I was just like, dude, like, yeah, like Sam said, just go be the fucking president. Shut the fuck up. Like,
yeah, right.
do what you got to do. I will say like the final mission to deliver BB
Yeah.
was very sad.
Yeah, I
Whatever.
like that it's the same thing, like we're cycling, like it's the same mission that when you got rid of Bridget or whatever
Yeah.
at the beginning of the game. And I like that, you know, we're going back, we're going full circle with it. But you're right, it was really sad. And I was sitting there like I was pretty sure that he saves Lou because I've seen screenshots of Death Stranding 2's marketing, so and Lou's all over it. So I'm like, yeah, okay, he's definitely saving Lou, right? He's got to save her, you know, and it's like and you know, he does ultimately.
Yeah.
Um but I really liked this end point. I love this for the game. Like I think it's a really interesting place to end it going into the second game. This game definitely feels incomplete from a story perspective though to me. Like obviously the Amelie stuff and the extinction stuff is not resolved at the end of the game. And the whole thing with Lou opens up a whole new plot line for sure as well. So I'm very happy that I didn't play this game until now, actually.
Me too, dude. I was just thinking that. I'm like, if I played this
Yeah.
game like 4 years ago, I probably been a little bit more pissed than what actually
Yes.
happened. You know?
Well, because yeah, having to wait for the second game to come out to resolve all these loose plot threads, like I'm glad I could just jump right into the next game, you know? So yeah, I think that's a benefit for me, but that's the thing. I think the game ultimately, as much story as it has, it feels very incomplete from a narrative standpoint in a lot of ways. And I think that's the issue with it ultimately. And I think the way Clifford was handled, I didn't like the way I guess in context, understanding now what the intent was, I don't like the way he went out.
Yeah.
Um I thought it was very weird and abstract, you know. And I don't like that Amelie was the bad guy at the end of the day. It didn't really work for me. But yeah,
they were. I felt like they were trying too hard at the end. Like, oh, we need a twist, and it's like,
right.
it felt like, I don't want to spoil. You beat Metal Gear 5, right?
Nope, I did not.
Okay, I'm not going to spoil that for you, but it kind of felt like they were trying to do that type of twist at the end of the game.
Similar thing, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha. Well, all right. Well, that's the story then. Is there anything else you want to talk about with the game, like gameplay wise, or is there? I guess question I have for you: is there a reason you didn't fall deep enough into it where you weren't like wanting to 5-star everything?
So I explained this to my friend, my other friend, and I think I'm just at the point. I think I like to play games, and even when I dive super deep into games or whatever like that, right? I don't really like the aspect of like you giving me a task to do to get a certain trophy. If that makes any sense, it becomes like it no longer becomes a game and it becomes a chore, and that's when I hate, and that's why I personally hate achievements and trophy hunting. Because like I understand other people love it, and this is just a me personal thing. So not to knock anybody or anything like that. That's what y'all like. That's what y'all like. This is just me personal thing. I like when achievements were there and it was like, oh, you got this achievement for doing this one thing that the developers like assumed that you were going to do. And I thought like that idea of achievements was like really cool in that aspect. Like, oh, like, you jumped to this ledge that we thought you couldn't get to, but you got to it anyway. Here's your achievement for that. Like that's what I thought achievements were really usually for. But then they became like a checklist, and then they became this arbitrary thing for measuring if you were a real gamer or not. I only have one platinum, and that's like, yeah, and that's
really,
like,
you only have one platinum? That's crazy.
Yeah, I only got one platinum, and that's Spider-Man Miles Morales. That's it.
Okay.
I don't.
Not a bad one.
I don't really have. Another thing is like, and this is like maybe a poor excuse, but like I really don't have time to do these platinums. In my opinion,
Yeah.
I just want to play another game.
That
like
is certainly true. That is certainly true.
When I get done with it, and I see other people who play like games and stuff like that and everything, like I never platinum Devil May Cry, but I have hundreds of hours in Devil May Cry. But I just never platinumed it. I never platinumed Scarlet Nexus, and I have hundreds of hours in Scarlet Nexus. So it's like I just like to play the game to play the game. I don't like to play the game to to do a checklist, because it's almost like how my wife said, like certain things was like, oh, why don't you try to monetize this or whatever? And it's like, I was like, yeah, why don't you try to like, maybe open up your own pole studio, because since you're like you're a really good pole instructor. Like she has one of the top classes. Like people always subscribe to her class when she's teaching, and she's like, it becomes no longer fun for me, and then it becomes another job, and I don't want to have to worry about stuff like that. And I'm like, yeah, I kind of agree with that. Like even when people are like doing commissions for art and stuff like that, it becomes no longer your passion, and then it becomes a job, and then it kind of sucks your passion out of it. And that's kind of how I feel about achievements, even though you're not being paid for it. Like you're giving me these arbitrary tasks to do.
You're getting something for it though. You are getting rewarded in some way. Yeah, I see what you mean.
I mean, the bragging rights. Like I guess, like, cool, you've completed the entire game.
I mean, bro, some people take their trophy stuff like mega serious. Like it is like their life. Like they like ascribe their self-worth to their trophies. Like
no, like I said, I have friends like that who like, yo, I platinum this game and everything, and I'm like, cool, I don't care. Like I don't care, and I don't even care when people tell me like they platinum the game or whatever. I just really don't care, because I feel like they're all like they're not all meaningless tasks or whatever, right? But like, it just takes the fun out of the game. Now, if I wanted to 100% the game, like back in the day when I wanted to 100% the game, like you really got like cool things for 100. Like the developers maybe didn't expect you to do it, or they did expect you to do it, and they give you like really cool shit at the end of the game for whatever.
Yeah.
Like for Kingdom Hearts, you get that ultimate weapon or whatever, right?
Yes.
I don't know, Justin. Like that's just me personally. I don't like platinum in games. Like I'm not an achievement hunter.
Yeah.
I want to be an achievement hunter, but every time I try to do it, I just like, oh my god. Like for instance, right? Yeah, like I was like, I'm gonna try Platinum Wilds, and then I was like, oh, I gotta look for the fucking right monster.
Nah, bro. No, the Monster Hunter ones are fucking misery. Like I don't know why Capcom does the crown thing or whatever. That shit is the worst. Like it's type of grind that is just not enjoyable and takes a million fucking years, you know.
Yeah.
So I mean, like, so I guess I'll explain my philosophy. You know, like, for instance, well, I did want to say real quick, like, my brother is a trophy whore, like ridiculous trophy whore, dude. He's level 806 on PlayStation.
Jesus.
And he's got 517 platinum trophies.
What?
I know, dude. I was like, what the fuck? I don't even understand, bro. Like, it's fucking insanity. But he's the type of person that plays like shitty games to get platinums, I'm pretty sure. So
okay.
Not all of them are like that though. He's got a very large amount that aren't, but I think there are some games he plays that are like easy platinums. So but for me, like, I think the way I've come to deal with this is like, because I agree with you largely. I think the way achievements are implemented actually sucks a lot in video games. I think in most games it does become a task list. Like that Monster Hunter one, for instance, that trophy is terrible. It's a horribly designed trophy. It's not fun. It's not something you're going to do normally in your normal course of gameplay, and it's a task that you're like, when you're doing it, you're not going to enjoy it. You know. So I don't think those kind of trophies are worth it. I like trophy lists that are more completion focused, where it's like, just do everything in the game, you know, and you'll get a platinum.
Yeah,
those
and
are
I like
those are the ones I like more. Yeah, those are the ones I like more. And Death Stranding is mostly that, I'd say. But my thing with platinums, I only go for platinums in games. Usually, this isn't always true, but generally my criteria is like, did I love the game? If I love the game and I still have the energy to go for the plat, then I'll do it. Is kind of my mindset with these. And it's my way of like really showing my appreciation to the game, essentially.
Okay.
Basically, is the game was good enough that I want to put this amount of time into it. Essentially, and oftentimes it is fun to go for plats. Like the Death Stranding platinum is fun to get, actually. It is super fulfilling to 5-star all the locations, build out all the roads, like figure out how to do it the most efficient way. There's like a meta game to it that's really fucking enjoyable, actually. So in this particular case, this is actually one of the more fun platinums I've ever gotten. Because there is a game within a game with it, where you're trying to figure out how to do it the fastest way possible, basically. Because, you know, once you're in the post game and you know what all the trophies are, you're trying to plan out how you want to get them, you know, the fastest way. So I like this game for that. I don't really get trophies for trophies' sake, though. I'm not a trophy whore. Like, I think I have like 35 plats, maybe something like that. And if you go look at my list, most of them are games that I would put in my top 100 games of all time, probably.
Okay.
You know, it's shit like that. Otherwise, it's games that give you a platinum for just beating them, like the Telltale games used to do that. I have a lot of those, you know, those kind of games as well on there. Like, probably, I don't know, 5 of them are probably those kind of games. So those are just platinums they just give you for playing the game, basically. But there's a few on there that I am like, why did I get that? In retrospect, like, my first platinum ever was Final Fantasy 13. I don't know why I platinumed that game, but I did. And that's why when I talk about Final Fantasy 13, like, none of y'all played it as much as I did. So trust me when I say that this game is pretty good. I know it. You know, it's like, I played it. So, but also the other thing with platinums for me is kind of a marker of once I get it, I'm kind of done with that game, and I'm probably never going to play it again. Is kind of my other thought process with it. And if I do play it again, it's gonna be in a very like golden pathy kind of way where I'm just kind of there for the ride. I'm not really like trying to do anything specific, you know. So those are kind of the reasons that I do it. Ultimately, I do get some enjoyment out of it. Um, so I did get the Wuthering Waves Platinum yesterday actually as well.
Oh my
So
god.
I haven't gotten, dude. It's funny. I haven't gotten any plats this year, and then I got Death Stranding and Wuthering Waves back-to-back days. So it's weird how my trophy thing is kind of weird because you'll see it come in chunks like that, where I have like bursts of time where I get a lot of platinums, really like in a condensed time frame, and then I will literally go a year and a half without getting a single plat. So it's weird. Um, like I did the Final Fantasy ones. Like I got Final Fantasy 1 through 3 platinums. Like I did those. I kind of want to do that with all of them. I want to do the Kingdom Hearts games. Like that's kind of what I want to do as well. Like I want to get all the plats in those.
I'm just surprised you got platinums. You have a wife, man. Like that's just my thing. It's just like
no, I agree with you on that part. It is not time efficient to get a platinum trophy in most games. Like it is not a time efficient thing. So, but I'm gonna do Death Stranding 2 as well. I think it's actually a little easier than the first game, so that's a good thing. But so I'm gonna do Death Stranding 2 as well. I think the other reason I like doing it is that it a lot of the time most trophy lists tend to make you play the whole game, like do everything in the game, and then you also do things in the game you wouldn't normally do, probably. And that can be a very positive thing for experiencing a game. Like you'll see the game is capable of things that you didn't think of in normal gameplay, and you're like, holy shit, this game's like really deep, you know?
Yeah.
That's kind of another element to it as well. It'll kind of expose you to things sometimes that you wouldn't normally be exposed to. And I don't know, when I talk about games too, I have a very completionist mindset. Like I want to know the game inside and out when I'm talking about it on the show, for instance. And like, if anybody ever was going to come at me, it's like, bro, I have the platinum for Death Stranding. What do you like? I did everything in the fucking game. Like I know it.
I just don't
I
like
know it
that.
inside.
My thing is just like I just want people to play the fucking game. Like just play the game.
No, I agree. That's not my main reason though. Trust me. That's like one of the most. That's like a fifth reason down of reasons why I like getting the platinum trophy for a game. But it's a reason. It is there. So
yeah.
All right. Well, yeah. I mean, so from the perspective of what you did play the game though, like how much. Because you said you did a lot of the side orders in the first region, like in the central region, like how much of that were you doing, or were you really just golden pathing it at a certain point?
I built the, What was crazy was I was just like, my whole goal was just to help people. I was building stuff to like help other people and get likes. That was my whole goal. I wasn't even like playing for doing all the deliveries and stuff like that. I was just like, how can I make this, from here to here more efficient? Or like I see that, we built this road to this point. I'm going to try to help finish this road or whatever.
Finish the road,
yeah. So, I was just building networks. That was my whole thing. Like that was my platinum in my head, in my opinion. I was like, I made very much
totally
like,
fun.
I just wanted to help people. And I was just like, I just want to get likes and help people. That was my whole thing. So that was my enjoyment for the game. Like I didn't even have to make deliveries. I could just fucking help people. And that's and I like that.
I got you. Yeah, no, I mean that's cool, man. Like that. I think that's the strength of this game though, is that it can be played a lot of different ways.
Yeah.
However you choose to play it is right. Like there's no wrong way to play Death Stranding. If you decide that you don't want to build any roads and you never want to use a vehicle and you never want to use a zip line anywhere, like that's fine, bro. You can play that way. You're going to get a much more grindy, like skillful experience out of that, having to like go on foot everywhere. But like, I think there is a spirit to that in the game though. And I think that would be really cool. A cool way to play, actually, like never use a vehicle. And make the game take a lot longer, but at the same time, like there is some role play element there, which is cool. So I don't know. I think the game is just really it's just got a lot of flexibility to it, which is really fun. So yeah. Yeah, Death Stranding is really cool. Montreal, after talking here, do you think you're gonna go to the second game, or what are you gonna do?
Man, I don't want to. I want to finish the 2 games I'm playing, and then I'm gonna play that.
Okay.
'Cause
You need to do
that,
it. It's dude, the first 5 hours, like it starts what I would call slow, but I just hit the first, like I just finished the first chapter, and the game like is like fucking like the narrative is like going crazy already. I'm like, fuck. So I think it's very worthwhile. The control is a lot different as well. It feels different to play in a lot of ways. So which I think you will find very interesting.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try it, but yeah, that is my platinum take though. I know a lot of people would disagree with me on that, but
Nah, bro, I don't think that's an issue at all. I think, like, honestly, I kind of wish I was more like you in a lot of ways. I would play a lot more games if I didn't play the way I do. It's one of my biggest like struggles because I'm like a mega completionist, dude. And as I get older, it's harder and harder to play games that way. This is why games like Cyberpunk sit on the shelf for years because the game has so much content that I want to play. But I'm like, I know how I'm going to play it, so I'm like, I don't want to commit 100 hours to play that game, you know. And it's like the same thing with like game like Baldur's Gate 3, for instance. Is like that game, I could play that game for fucking 3,000 hours probably and still find new things in it. And it's like I don't want to commit that, you know. And I think this is another reason I enjoy multiplayer games is because they're bite sized, right? Like there is no completionist element to a multiplayer game. You're trying to win, you know. It's like so I think that's why I gravitate towards multiplayer so much because of that element to it. Single player games, like this is why I complain about bloat though. It's like I just don't, I don't know. People like me can't play all these games, bro. It's just, you know,
yeah,
it's like
no,
it's fucking, it sucks.
that's why I committed to like just a low, not low effort, but like I would play a game to a certain point to where my brain's like, all right, we need to just finish this, and then I just golden path it after that. If that makes any sense.
No, and that happens sometimes, by the way. It's not like I'm doing this with every game, right? But like there are plenty of games I play where I play it pretty completionist for like 25% of it, and then I'm like, I got my fill. I'm good. Let's just finish this shit, you know? And I've done
Yeah,
that plenty of times. So it's not like I don't. It's just I'm not. I think lately in the last like couple of years, every game I'm playing, I'm really enjoying. You know, it's like hit after hit after hit. I'm not hitting these games where I'm just kind of on them, you know. So you end up like I end up like fucking going crazy on most of these. So yeah, I don't know. But it is what it is. All right, Montreal, thank you for joining me on this. Glad we were able to do the spoilercast on this game. Hopefully you play 2 and we can do that one as well in the coming weeks. We'll certainly talk about it. But yeah, I think that's it for us. So yeah, guys, thanks for sticking around. If you're still here, we appreciate it. And you know, go hit us on you know, subscribe to us on the feeds or whatever. And then you know, send us questions like normal to the email address. So that's it, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this if you stuck around, and we'll see you next week. Bye.